Pallets, offering a one-stop solution for all of your pallet needs. Get in touch now on 01709 585 646 to discuss your pallet requirements. And thank you again to Sonny and the team for their continued support of Ramble FC. What is happening, people, and welcome back to the Ramble Football Club. Oh my word, it's hard to keep up with all this. It was going to be what's happening, Blades. Then I stopped myself. Thought, no, we're pros now. We know that we're on Ramble Football Club. Then Ellie said, "What's happening, people? Welcome back to Blades Ramble." So, how are we all doing this afternoon? That it's just tipped over into. Oh my word, I'm happy again. I'm okay. I'm upbeat because it's match day. It's firstly match day for some of our Championship rivals that we're going to talk about, and obviously we're going to be watching first off, and then Sheffield United, our team. Even though this is a neutral channel, but we'll then be going and seeing how we get on against Swansea, and we can obviously get into a little bit of that, which I'm sure people will want to talk about. So I've had a look at the teams for Derby against Cov, and as I say, we will get into what I think most people probably want to talk about, which is Sheffield United. But we are a neutral channel here, as we've said. But you look at the Derby team. I've built this, as you can see down here. It's Rian Brewster's Derby County versus Bobby Thomas's Coventry City, because Bobby Thomas is a centre defender, which we desperately need, who has been linked to Sheffield United. Rian Brewster obviously has a long history with Sheffield United as well. Brewster's not in the squad, and thinking about it, that makes sense. Somebody messaged me already saying, "Is Brewster injured already?" Surely not. No, he's not injured. Or to the best of my knowledge, he's not injured. I think he is. Let me just double check. I think he is unfit. Basically, it took him so long dithering and dallying as to where he was going to go. He got no real pre-season, did he? I don't think. He certainly feels that way anyway, looking from outside. I've not spent a lot of my time studying Rian Brewster's activities, but they line up today like this. It's a 3-4-1-2, and I've paused it so we can have a little bit of a look at it, because a lot of Sheffield United fans believe that this is how Sheffield United should consider setting up, and me and the Man Mountain had a little bit of a... In fact, this is close to his dodgy Christmas tree formation. The only difference being, instead of a 1 behind 2, he wants 2 behind 1. 2 behind 1. So that's what he's after. We need, obviously, bodies in before we can even think about this. You need 3 centre-backs. I don't think we've got 3 centre-backs at the club. Not first-team professionals, anyway. But this is where he believes we get the best out of Sariki and Burrows. I'm not sure Derby will actually line up like this. I don't think Ebo Adams tends to play in the 10. I wonder if Caden Jackson drops a little bit deeper and it's more of a flat 3 in the middle for Derby. But at the moment, they're playing Dion Sanderson, Danny Batt and Matt Clark as centre-backs. He loves Dion Sanderson, does John Eustace. I think it's the 4th club he's brought Dion Sanderson to. Ryan Nyambe, Callum Elder are the wing-backs. It's Thompson and Ozo. Ozo, who I think was on loan with Derby last season, but got injured. A lot of things expected of him. I really like Ebo Adams, who Stream Builder have as in the 10 today. I think he'll sit a little bit deeper than that personally, but I really like Ebo Adams. Keep an eye on him. I tend to drop some of these names in when I really like them, and he's one of them to watch, I think, this season. Caden Jackson, who I'm not sure is amazing at the level, if I'm honest, but Carlton Morris, a really good summer signing from Luton, and that's okay from Derby. I'm going to have a little look about what they have on the bench, because the one thing it doesn't show us is what's on the bench, and I think Derby have signed well this summer, so I'm going to have a little look at about how strong their bench is today. I've had a little look before, because I needed to see whether Rian was playing or not. So I've got Craig Forsyth, Ben Osborne, who was obviously dropped down the pecking order for them now, Andy Vyman, Gudjmin, Rooney, Roondog, Ward, Is that Joe Ward? Brown and Clark. Okay, so not a super strong bench, to be fair. But let's have a look at Coventry now. What's Coventry got lining up today? Because Coventry fancied to go well this season. This will be a really good game, actually, because I think Derby, you think about how they went last year and it was a struggle. I think they've signed really well, as I've said. And I think they'll go well this season. Better than they're expected to do. I think Coventry are quite well fancied. Look at this lineup, by the way. Look at this lineup. And this is looking strong, to be honest. Cov. So they've got Carl Rushworth in goal. Probably up there with the second best goalkeeper in the league behind our boy Mike. Van Uwick at right back. Lots of rumours about... Sorry, they're obviously going with a 4-2-3-1, which we'll come to. But Van Uwick, a lot of rumours linking him with a move away. Now, they won't be worried about that because they've got Kessler Hayden. They've signed Kessler Hayden from Villa, who was the player of the season at Preston last year. So Michael Van Uwick, although he's decent at the level, I'm not quite as into him as a lot of people are. But he's a good player at the level. And I think Kessler Hayden is a like-for-like replacement waiting to come in and just take that shirt from him, to be honest. Jay De Silva at the back. Is it Jay or Josh? I'm never entirely sure. I always get him mixed up. As the left back, I think that's a slightly weak link for Coventry, if I'm honest. Liam Kitchen's a decent centre half, and the boy that we spoke about a lot last season on this channel, Bobby Thomas, is starting. Now, I want to touch on this because a lot of Blades are like, oh my God, Bobby Thomas, we've been linked with Bobby Thomas finally, and he's starting for Cov. Well, chances are Jack Robinson starts for us today. That is how light they are at the moment. Coventry obviously strongly linked with Charlie Hughes from Hull, like Sheffield United are having a look at Charlie Hughes from Hull. But the connection here, as a couple of people have mentioned in our Platinum chat, is the agency. A lot of these players are linked to the same agency, CAA Stella, and it will likely become a bit of a carousel of players. So I think Bobby Thomas, there's a strong chance Sheffield United get Bobby Thomas. And I think there's a strong chance then that Charlie Hughes moves to Coventry. But we'll wait and see if those dominoes start to fall. I know that recently, and I was going to drop this on 90 after 90, but I'll talk about it very briefly here, so to reward those that have joined us on this channel. Because it's not the most enticing of games on paper, but I think it'll be a decent game, this. I'm really looking forward to it. I could have watched a more glamorous game, if you like. I think anything involving Wrexham is newsworthy at the minute, but we've already done Wrexham. And this is a channel, Ramble FC, we are looking at broader coverage of not just the Championship, but we'll be looking at some Premier League games as well throughout the season. And I want to gain a better understanding of these teams. I know enough to get me by, but I'd like to get a little bit deeper knowledge into them as well, because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it properly, aren't we? So, Bobby Thomas, from what I understand, he was obviously linked with Sheffield United. I think it first started circulating yesterday, might have been late on the day before. People start taking it seriously when, rightly so, by the way, when Danny Hall starts reporting it. He's our local journalist, for those that aren't Sheffield United fans. And I from what I understand, there are genuine links to Bobby Thomas. The fee reported was around £8 million. Now, that is, we're nowhere near £8 million. Nowhere near it. And I think today, a BBC article has said it's not £8 million, it's closer to 5. I can tell you that we are hoping to get Wu, Thomas, and Zetterstrom all for under £10 million. That's what we're working on as a club. So I'm not saying they're all on the cusp of happening. I'm saying that is what we're aiming for. It may tip over. We may end up paying 11, maybe even 12, but it's nowhere near £8 million for Bobby Thomas. So that is the murmurings that I am hearing. There's a few other bits that I can talk about tonight on 90 after 90. So join me there after the Swansea game. They've got Victor Top in the middle, and Matt Grimes. Really like Matt Grimes. He's another one that we've spoken about a lot. Spoke about him when he was at Swansea. Somebody I think we should have been in for and looking at. Never did. Not entirely sure. I think he's always been on a shortlist for United, but we've never we never obviously pulled the trigger on that one. I'm not sure that this is the configuration that the front four will line up in. I think Jack Radoni's right. Jack Radoni will be in the 10 and probably given a bit of a license to roam. Very good player at the level. Liked him at Huddersfield. Coventry went early with a £5 million bid when Huddersfield got relegated. And it's a gamble that's paid off because now they are entertaining bids of 15 million plus from Southampton at the moment. So Southampton really keen on Jack Radoni. Probably ends up happening. We'll have to wait and see. But chances are they're going to lose a lot of players, Southampton. So for the players that they're really keen on, like they've gone in strong for Jack Radoni, they will likely pay the money that's needed to get him out. I think Hadji Wright might be at the point of this attack where Stream Builder have got Thomas Asante. I think Thomas Asante is more likely to be out on the right and Mason Clark on the left. But we'll see. I mean, that's me guessing. I'm no Coventry fan. Second tier now reporting that Sheffield United have bid 5 million for Bobby Thomas rather than the reported 8. I think it could even be slightly less. I think it could be up to 5 if I'm honest. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens from that. So let me know what you think to the two teams today. I'm really excited to watch this one because I think the two sides that could possibly outperform where people have seen them. Coventry, well, I think people believe that Coventry will go well, but I'm expecting them to upset both the parachute teams and probably upset Sheffield United in terms of being really in the mix for what's going off. And I think Derby will outperform where they've been as well, certainly last season, and I think they'll have a good season going forward. So let's get into some of your comments and we'll get cracking with the watch. To be honest, we've started at 12 and they don't actually, they've got Ryan Reynolds and his mate Rob Mack is being listed as there on Sky Sports. What an absolute loving this will be. So yeah, Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mack on a green screen pretending that they're at Wrexham. And that's a joke, by the way. They are obviously there, and Sky Sports are loving it that they can get Ryan Reynolds and his pal on the show. Fair play, one of them. Right, let's get started. So Matt says, what we're going to say was, we start at 12 o'clock. They don't actually start coverage of our game because they're too busy interviewing Ryan Reynolds till 25 past. So we'll talk to you guys until then. So Matt says, morning Jimmy. So Thomas is playing for Cov. Let's hope he doesn't get injured. Absolutely right. He'll be thinking the same if he wants this move, which I'm sure he does. He'll be thinking don't get injured. Jack Robinson will be thinking don't get injured. There's a few moving parts, isn't there, to this transfer saga. If we can get him, I really like him. Good signing. Finally, the owners have woken up the blades, up the Ramble. I don't know. You could say they've woken up. You could say they've reacted to Ruben Sayers as sort of throwing down the gauntlet a little bit, which I think he has. And or you could believe that this was the plan all along. And to be honest, it might be a mesh of all of that. It might be none of it. Who knows? Who knows, pal? Brett says, morning, Jimmy. Really happy and positive if we can get Thomas. I think he really does level us up. I agree. What I will say about Bobby Thomas is, sorry, before I read the rest of your comments, pal. What I will say about Bobby Thomas, he's the closest thing, and it's like a light version, so I don't want anybody to sort of clip this really, but he's the closest thing we can get to a Chris Morgan figure. I think that is probably the best compliment I can give him. We all loved Chris Morgan as a player on the pitch. For those that were lucky enough to witness him captain our club, it would not surprise me if Thomas was given the armband as and when he arrives. I think he's a leader. He's young, but I think he's a leader on the pitch. He's an hard nut. He sticks his head in. He's good in both boxes, contributes with goals at the top of the pitch as well. I really like him. I really like him as a signing. And like I said, it's the closest thing we've had to Morgs in years. I think Jack O'Connell was very close to Morgs, but I think he was a lot more mobile than Chris Morgan and a different type of footballer. He wasn't a hard nut like Morgs, but I think he was a different type of footballer. I think Bobby Thomas is much more in the Morgan mould. Not as mobile, it's probably fair to say. I think I've seen somebody saying in the comments in our Platinum chat, stuff that they've got from speaking to Coventry fans, or whether it's a view from Roy, I'm not sure. his positional sense could do with a bit of work, which is a concern in this system that we're playing at the moment. But look, he definitely levels us. He comes in and he's automatically our best defender, isn't he? So I really like it as a signing. Brett says, any chance they throw Radoni in there for a few extra quid? It'll have to be 25 million extra or something like that. So probably 20 mil. So no, bro. Up all the watch-alongs. Like and subscribe for a laugh. Oh, yes. Like and subscribe for a laugh. Just do it. Just do it. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you, Brett. God, I wish Brett. Thomas and Radoni, yes, please. Max says, Bobby Thomas, nice signing if we get it done. Just hoped it's not being leaked to shut us fans and manager up. Seems the Malmo lad is in talks too and close. Has been for a while. Has been for, like we've been talking about for weeks now, probably. What I would say is what I'm slightly concerned at is that he's now playing in net for Derby. So we'll have to scout him today and see if he's any good, and then we'll see if we can get him playing centre half for us at some point. Seems Malmo. Yeah, I've just read that and made a bad joke. Danny says, "Morning, lads and lasses. Hope you're all well. How do you feel about the new incomings? If there's legs to them, up the blades." How do I feel about it? I'm pleased. I'm pleased, and I think there's a few shoots of optimism coming out of the ground. I'm not saying it's by all means a 180 and turnaround, but we were all very conscious that our reactions. Apologies to those that aren't here for a Sheffield United stream, but largely Sheffield United clientele as we grow this channel. So if you want different subject matter, then you can comment and we'll divert to whatever you want to talk about. But Dan, I'm thinking there's the shoots of optimism, and we were all conscious that our reaction to first certainly Bristol City, and then a little bit more following the Birmingham game, we're conscious that we may be slightly overreacting, and we don't apologise for that because it's emotion during the game and just after the game. So no apologies given, because that's how we feel and we're a passionate fan base. But the dust settles and you can look at the bigger picture slightly, and as you look at the bigger picture and then you hear about little bits of movement here, and Sheffield United are now exploring this and a couple of other things, again, like I'll discuss tonight on 90 After 90, then it does give you cause for a little bit of optimism, and I don't apologise for that either. Nige says, afternoon, pal. Huge game today. Hope it's a win for the sake of mentality of the squad. What's your views on Bobby Thomas? Up the blades, up the ramble, up behind the ramble, like and subscribe. Big fan. Big fan. Have been since last season when we got a chance to see him a little bit more up close and personal. Myself and Jord have spoken about him quite a bit on watch-alongs that we've done. And yeah, we've talked about it a little bit in the Platinum chat and things like that previously. So I'm a big fan. And as I say, I think he's the closest thing we'll get, or we've been linked with recently, to a Chris Morgan light. That's the way I'll say it. Max says, Darren Smith says, it's Cov's side that leaked it. They want to sell as they want more ball-playing centre-half. We like ball-playing centre-halves, particularly under Ruben Sayers. I think Tyler Binden is seen as a ball-playing centre-half. You don't always need it. We're desperate at the moment as well for a proper championship-proven centre-back, and I think Bobby Thomas fits the mould brilliantly. So, yeah, I've no reason to disagree with what Darren says. Everybody knows I'm friends with Darren, and it wouldn't surprise me if Cov leaked it for a bit more of a bidding war and a bit more interest, and to raise the price a little bit, which just emphasises the need to get it done at speed, which we have been terrible at all window. And we usually are quite poor at as a club, to be honest, let's be right. Scott says, good morning. I'm not going to get too excited about Bobby Thomas. Darren Smith confirmed the bid has gone in, but it seems like Cov have leaked it to pump up interest. Well, there you go. There you go. Well, that's par for the course, Scott. That's usually the case. And unsurprising. Doesn't its usual course of action into it for a transfer. Nick says, afternoon, Jimmy and the Ramblers. A bit nervous about today. Not sure what to expect. We need a win and start some kind of momentum. Yes, we do, pal. We definitely need a win. I'm not convinced we get it, if I'm honest. But I can see, as I say, room for optimism in what we're trying to do at the moment. I'm trying to stay positive. We have got really, I mean, we've not recorded it yet. We've not even properly discussed it. I never know what we're going to say on these streams or anything. But Dave the Nose has said he's got the subject for the next 2MB, which will be on Sunday because Man Mountain's away. And he's going to tell me why he's quite optimistic, or he thinks there's a plan behind the strategy. So 7 o'clock, Sunday night, 2MB, Dave the Nose explains his theory on the board and what's going on at Sheffield United. And he's not against it per se. And it's a theory rather than, this is what I know. It's a theory from Dave. But I'm really interested to hear his perspective on it. Brett says, I like Derby as a team, always have a soft spot for them, especially as they seem to dislike Wednesday as much as us. It seems to be, and I know Billy Sharp doesn't agree with this because he's played for Forest, but it seems to be Sheffield United and Derby versus Forest and Wendy's, doesn't it? That's how it tends to be. We don't, R2, the tag team of Sheffield United and Derby, don't like the tag team of Forest and Wendy's. They like to love and cuddle and kiss each other. We have respect for each other, Derby and Sheffield United. So that's how it goes. And the good guys always win in the end. So I'm positive that Forest get relegated and join Wednesday in a relegation season, double relegation. Dave says, morning, Jimmy. Afternoon, Jimmy. He says, hope you're well. I'm looking forward to this game. My eye, your one eye at the minute. Sorry, David. He's on Thomas. Please like and subscribe. It's free and great content. Up all the rambles. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Nige says, should be a good day of football today. Some good games on. Come on, Blades. All we ask is give it everything. Absolutely right. Rob says, afternoon, Jimmy. Bobby Thomas starting for Cov today. So is the bid true or a long way off still? No, I think it's true, and I think we are down the line with it, mate. Similar to the Robinson situation with us. I don't think it's quite as advanced as the Robinson one is. It may be, but I know the Robinson one is very advanced, put it that way. Do you think we will get Thomas for 5 mil, though? I would say more like 6 to 8. We'll have to wait and see, Matt. We'll have to wait and see. I think there's a chance. I think there's a strong chance. Scott says, I regurgitated the Thomas bid from BBC suggesting the fee was 5 mil. However, the BBC also suggested we will get 15 mil for a nil. So it swings and roundabouts. Yeah, all I know, I don't know if it's 5. All I know is, as I said at the top, we are hoping to get Wu, who we think is around 5, Wu, Zetterstrom, and Thomas, all for under 10. Well, Wu might be less than 5. We don't know what his release clause is. But we're hoping to get all 3 for. I'm not saying we will get him for below 10. But that's what we're aiming for. That is the strategy of the club at the minute. We can't dilly-dally on 1 or 2 mil, can we? If we got those 3 in before Millwall, we are absolutely laughing. Can you imagine Tim on loan as well? Who was reported on the Blades Ramble first, by the way. I don't know where, Anyway, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to bite my tongue. Certain accounts and things are now... Anyway, we'll leave that. Claire says, we are not your feeder club, Jimmy. Claire, the Cov fan, welcome and thank you for joining us. I was going to say no, you're not, but thank you for Gus, thank you for Cal, and hopefully thank you for Bobby. You might beat us to Charlie Hughes, and then you win that one, don't you? But interested to hear from you, Claire. What are your honest thoughts on Bobby Thomas? Would you be sad to see him go? Do you think he's a very good player for the level? Do you think he's top-end championship? What are his flaws? I rate your opinion, so I want you to let me know what you think of him. Max says, are we allergic to signing left-footed centre-halves? Doesn't matter about the foot. I mean, that's a idealistic proposition rather than an essential proposition. So Tyler Binden for Reading played on the left of the centre-back pairing under Sayers. So he is comfortable playing on the left. And Bobby Thomas, if he wants, can play the right. It'll be up to Bobby because he'll be new club captain. I thought we're looking for pace at the back. I know he's strong and brave, but is Thomas quick? This worries me as well, Jack. I'll be honest. Love Bobby Thomas. Want him. Sign him. Give him the armband. Whatever we need to do to sort of strengthen our defence at the back. The system, the way that Sayers wants to play, worries me in terms of Thomas and others. To be fair, whoever you're going to get, whatever profile you're going to get, this is why I leant more towards before Thomas was linked. Obviously, I didn't know it was a realistic proposition at that stage. But before Thomas was linked, I wanted Ben Godfrey for his athleticism, because I think if you're going to play that high line, you need somebody who can turn and go and recover. But I hope they've got the Derby game on now, finally, at 25 past. But I agree with you, Jack. I think that's a concern. I think Sayers is going to have to adapt slightly, or just allow the defence to sit and trust them to deal with the attack that comes if we get caught high up the pitch. Fullbacks needs to be one or the other. It can't be both up. So, yeah, that's what I'd say personally. Ibu Adams, they're obviously trying to hold on to him because he's wearing the armband today. Thomas is starting. Is that a bad sign for a transfer? Also, your thoughts on it. I've given that Anna great banter. Hopefully you've been able to hear that, pal. Noticed Wu wasn't in Red Star's squad for the last game. Apparently we're close to an exciting champ striker too, Jimmy. Any names? No. Who said that? I've not heard that, Max. Not heard that. So if you've got any names and a source for me, I will check it out. And when I say names, yeah, well, just let me know. Let me know what you've heard. But I know, Max, you're a little bit... Forgive me. But you're a little bit like a magpie. Any bit of news from anywhere... Oh, my... Scott used to be like this, and Scott's learned. So Scott is now very good at sussing out where the source has come from, checking it, and then not getting too carried away. Still very... wants to know, and he's on the front foot with stuff. But Max... just let me know. Apologies, it might be a good source. I may be jumping the gun there, but I'm just going from experience. Any news on Woo? I've not heard anything, pal. Nothing enough to sort of give you one of these. No, nothing yet. Let's have a look how they've got him playing. They've got Thomas Asante at the top as well. Mason Clark on the right. Hadji right on the left. I'm not sure. They've got the same as... they've got this... Is that spinning? Is that thing moving? They've got the same as Stream Builder. Interesting. Let me see. I'll put sound back on there. Right. So no, nothing to officially break, Matt. Brett says, cheers, Jimmy. Thought it was just me likening Thomas to Morgan. It's a good comparison, isn't it, pal? I think so anyway. Why I'm so happy if we get him is the fact that he'll be a proper leader in that team. Loved Morgan, so a big compliment to even Morgan Light. Morgan, if you take Billy Sharp out of the equation for the sentimental value, I don't think we've had a better captain than Chris Morgan. Just an absolute... And for anybody, and I know we've said this before, for anybody that's met him, hope your hand's okay. Hope your hand is okay. Ben says, afternoon, Jim. Really like Bobby Thomas. Good centre-back. Would like to see him in a 3 with Binden and Swedish Matty, all being well. Let's hope for a good performance today. 3-1 Blades. Up the Blades. Up all the Rambles. Like and subscribe. From what I understand, if he gets through this game in Derby's goal, Matty will be a backup to the first team. Pushing for a start, because he's a high-potential prospect, and he's certainly a first-teamer. But I don't think he'll trouble the starting 2. However... I'm just seeing who they're trying to put. It's Derby ownership, I think. It does give us the option to move to a 3, though, doesn't it? It does give us that option. In fact, do you know what I ain't got on? I ain't got the scoreboard. Let's get the scoreboard on. Which one? Well, we said smaller one, didn't we? We'll go with that. Rob says, if we do get Thomas and Robbo goes to Wrexham as per the Sayers statement of ins before outs, then we still need 2 centre-backs as well as Thomas in my mind. We definitely need... I think we'll get Matty Zetterstrom. He's actually called Nils, by the way, if people aren't following from Blades Ramble. I think we'll get Zetterstrom, and I think we'll possibly get another further down the line. Norrington Davis might end up staying. Dovey might end up being the 4th one. Woo! Release clause is 5.5 million, so about 4.5. Thomas 5 mil and 2 million rumours for Zetterstrom. Yeah, I think we'll try and squeeze it, Scott, but we won't be far away from that, pal. T-Blade on S2. I don't know T-Blade. I don't go on S2, to be honest. So I don't know how accurate that source is. But where's that source come from? Where's, like, we get the Bladesman saying, "Oh, this is what's happening," but he will tell you where the news has come from. Is it a mainstream outlet? Is it somebody that's, I don't know. Jack says, "What do you think about Bobby Thomas, Jim?" I have gone over that to death, to be honest, Jack. So, oh, here we go. Cov on the attack already in their lovely pink kit, and it's a shot from distance from Grimes, and it's well wide of the goal. Magpie Max, change your name to that, mate. Magpie Max. Yeah, let's get your name changed then, Max, so we can see it. Claire the Coventry fan, says, "I'll be sad to see Bobby go. Thought it would be a future captain. Typical CH. Oh, centre half, sorry. That was daft. I was thinking, who's CH? I'm trying to... will you blame it manager then? Old Frank. But typical centre half. Good both ends of the pitch, but not the best passer of the ball. I can't see us letting him go unless we have Hughes and or Doyle lined up." Yeah, a lot of us want Hughes and Doyle as well, so we're in a similar market for these players, but I do really like Bobby Thomas. So I'm going to be watching him today to see how he goes. Thank you for that, Claire. Matt says, "I thought Moore was out for a long time at Wrexham. I guess not. I'm delighted that..." Oh, lovely cross from Derby. Carlton Morris dives in. We're diving header, just misses it. It's a great cross. Callum Elder. I think he might have just glanced it, Carlton Morris. Or maybe don't even touch it at all. It's a good chance, that. I'm delighted that Kiefer Moore's not injured. Obviously, he's no longer a Blade, but you never want to wish injury on players anyway. I know we joke with rivals and stuff like that, but you certainly never want to wish injury on players. But it looked like he were out for the season. I'd heard at one stage he looked like he were going to be out for the season, and he's starting today. So it must have been a misdiagnosis, or it's certainly... Whatever's happened, thankfully, he's fit. And yeah, he stays fit and don't score against Sheffield United. Rob says, "Moron was my captain." I know you mean Morgan, don't you? Oh, here come Derby again. Just clearing it. Oh no. Oh, and it's a good effort. It was from the byline. He smashed it, and the keeper sort of parried it, even though we're never going to hit the target, obviously, because we were way too wide. I think Coventry were asleep there, because there were nobody really challenging him. Ibo Adams, keep your eye on him, like we've said. Another corner to Derby. Morgan was my captain in the first season ticket stint, and he rose to the Prem level under Warnock. The way he went into tackles and won headers, he was a proper player. Yes, he was. He was, mate. Good day, Jimbo. Hope you're good, pal. Says Scott. Only just tuned in. Is Matty all but done now? We've got the spot for free, pal. Fan of Bobby Thomas, and I've have to do the yearly raid of Cov up the plate up all the Rambles. I think Matty is well down the line, mate. Yes. Well down the line. Beast Boy says, "Afternoon, Jimmy. Really excited to see us play today. If we lose, all hell will break loose." I don't think it will. Is Brewster injured, says Jack? No, I think he's just unfit because he's not really had a pre-season. Ref's just chatting to a few players before this corner's taken. Oh, Beast Boy says he can't play until after international break. Why is that then? His registration or something? What's gone off there? I don't understand that. Corner, outswinger. Coventry clear it, but randomly goes back to Callum Elder. Another cross into the box. It's cleared. Out to a Derby body who had a shot on goal. It's cleared again by Cov. And it's back to Carl Rushworth, second best goalkeeper in the league. I heard Keith had done his ACL, but glad for him he's not out for the season, says Scott. Johnny the Clown says, "Morning Ramblers, listening along, has got match bingo card on play." Me too. Match bingo, loving that. Let's have I've got a good card today. A really good card. For those that aren't involved, it's probably too late for this game today, but follow the link in the description. You can get all future watch-along games with us. I've only got 3 to go for a line already. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorry, that were a bit ridiculous, wasn't it? Is Carl Rushworth on loan at Cov? Yes, he is. He's in goal today, mate. Yes, he is definitely on loan. Morgs was my captain, but hard to split with Billy. It was. It is hard to split with Billy. Billy wins on sentiment, doesn't he? I think, and you know, achievements under Billy as well. I think it's probably fair to say, and the fact that we'd all want to live vicariously through Billy Sharp, because we're all, you know, if you're a Blade, it was a ball boy, a captain, and may well come back in some other capacity. Any idea of the fee we got for Jeff, Jimmy? No, mate. Peanuts. Peanuts. Absolute peanuts. More must have the Deadpool healing powers. Is that what Deadpool does? I've never seen it, to be honest. This is a free kick to Cov on the right hand side. Matt Grimes standing over it, along with Torp. It's going to be Matt Grimes surely for an in-swinger. It's wide on the right. Probably about 25 yards from byline. It's Grimes runs over it. Torp's going to take it for an outswinger. It's goal. What is Zetterstrom doing that don't sign him, Blades? Don't sign Zetterstrom. You are joking. It looks like Bobby Thomas has scored. It looks like Bobby Thomas has scored for Coventry. What happened was it's gone in. The free kick has been aimed pretty much low, direct towards the goalkeeper. So everybody's then run in. The goalkeeper panics and parries it like a double punch, but he punches it into Thomas's head, who's sliding in, and it bounces off his head into the goal. That is exactly what we're talking about. Exactly what we're talking about with Bobby Thomas. Brave, puts his head in, don't mind ball smacking him in the face, and it were only going to be him, weren't it? Well, nil Cov. So that is the irony. The Puhausery. Jack says, I'm happy we've been linked to a centre-back, but it's weird to me that all this time spent and then just go for a champ centre-back when we missed out on Dunn. Could have had Mepham. Could still have Mepham. We're not being linked to Mepham. Really like Thomas, though. Getting Thomas in will be nice just to add height to the back line. G-Tin Gaming says, Cov fan here. I think if we let Bobby go for anything less than 10 mil, then there'll be riots and calls for the owner to go. Fan favourite and one of the best centre-backs in the league for his age. I agree. I think he's one of the best centre-backs in the league for his age. And that may make it slightly more difficult for us to get him out now that he's scored today. Let's hope not. And it's a corner to Derby. Well done. Came down the right-hand side. I think it's Ozo that's won it. I reckon Robbo plays today, unfortunately, says Beast Boy. Yeah, he does. No way. That's for the goal. What was that about, says Benjamin Baboon. That's just added 3 mil to his price. That's increased his value now, says Rob. Well, time to move on, says Scott. That's 5 million. That 5 million for Thomas has just gone to 10 million now, says Matt. And GTIN Gaming says, make that 12. I know, crazy. Crazy. Corner to Derby, in swinger from Callum Elder. Good corner to the near post. Flicked on, but Carlton Morris cannot get it at the far post. It's another corner. Who was it that cleared it? Please don't be Bobby Thomas. Who was it that beat Morris in it? They're not going to show a replay, I don't think. Wowzers. Callum Elder now in out swinger. Oh. Morris did win that one because he got free at the far post, but he headed it back deep into the box and it's cleared. 2 to go for a line. Probably not going to get that one though. I need a Cov corner, a goal in the 9th, in the minute ended in the 9th, and somebody caught offside for Derby. Ball forward by Matt Clark. Picked up well. Derby down the right-hand side. Oh, that's a free kick. That's a free kick. Is that Mason Clark that's arguing? No, not to argue about, pal. And he is on the left, isn't he? I don't know whether it's adapted to the team. Oh, look, they've got there. It's a little bit more salmon than you can see on screen here, but it's closer on the match stats. We've got Carmel there for Derby, yeah. Okay. Daz says, afternoon, Jim, just setting off for Croke Park and Oasis. After being in the pub by 1:30 to lubricate my vocal cords. Take a draw today, but once we get bodies in between now, I'll be happy. Can't wait for that kitchen stream with the shed in the garden. Shed? We've never had a shed in garden, I don't think. It was garage in background, you could see. That's now Ramble HQ. It'll all look pretty different, by the way, because we've got Paul from Wellstone Landscapes in. So, what Beast Boy's talking about is we've just tipped over 9,000 subscribers on Blades Ramble. When we get to 10k, we're going to do a retro ramble, and it'll be from the kitchen like the old days. So if you're not already, please like and subscribe. And like and subscribe here as well if you won't mind. It's free. Crossed in, it's a goal! Callum Elder straight from the free kick. Wowzers! Straight from the free kick. It was wide. It was wide of the box on the right hand side. About halfway, maybe 10 yards from the byline. And he's whipped it in with his left foot. You'd expect him to go towards the far post. And I think it's a shot. It's a shot. And it's a great shot as well. And why wouldn't you shoot from there? And then if it goes a little bit wayward, then there's a chance somebody can get their head to it anyway. 1-1. What a shot. Support the channel. Let's like and subscribe for more of this. In fact, I haven't been doing this, have I? Goal! 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 I'll be honest, and look, I'm what we are here, and on all of our channels is honest. I don't usually rate Callum Elder as a player. He's played well today so far. Not just, and that obviously tops it off. But the first 10 minutes or so, he's been really good for Derby. This Wrexham game's been very boring, says Beast Boy. Well, get yourself watching Derby, Cov. Just our luck he'll stay now, says Ray, meaning Bobby Thomas. How did Thomas celebrate? Did it look like he was saying goodbye? No, he looked very excited and surprised, to be honest. It was one of them. It wasn't. I couldn't read anything into it. Another cross into the box from Cov. Hadji right. And it's... Oh, how has he pulled that wide of the near post? He gets all on his own. He should be smashing it with his right there, but he doesn't. He chops back. And then it's a terrible shot wide of the near post. I thought it had clipped somebody on the way through. Where am I on my comments? Another centre-back scoring we were linked with. Darling for Norwich. That went when Wilder went, to be honest, mate. That one. Was it a cross or a shot? It was definitely a shot, I think. I think it was a shot. You've got to give him credit for that. Let me turn the Derby game on. Sounds well entertaining. Yeah, I know. To be honest, I was tempted to go with Wrexham. And then I thought, no, we need to cover the division. I need to sort of broaden my knowledge of everybody that's in the division, don't I? So it's been good. It's been good. First goal Cov have conceded this season, says George. Where was Thomas? Poor defending that. Get him sold for 3 mil. I completely agree. In fact, it's a disgrace from Bobby Thomas, that. Absolute disgrace. If I'm Cov, I'm shanking him into reserves, to be honest. I think Derby will be right up there when Brewster's back. I thought you might think that, Beast Boy. Keeper's got to do better there, says Matt. I think that's harsh. It's right up in the top corner. I know what you mean in terms of angles, but George says, why would Cov want to sell Thomas? He's not going anywhere. We'll see. Don't have to get so shirty about it. I think what you're trying to do is get somebody in yourself, and I'm not sure you're absolutely minted because you've already splashed some cash, haven't you? So I think it's probably going to be a case of we help part fund Charlie Hughes for you or something like that. Rushworth looks very poor. Disagree. Didn't rate him at Hull, says Beast Boy. I think you've got to give him longer than 15 minutes this season. It's poor, says Benjamin Baboon. I think you're harsh. Is he 30, Callum Elder? 30. They've just said third. It's only his third senior goal at the age of 30. Cov now. Intricate passing on the edge of the box, but it's cleared by Derby. Decent game, this. I've got it for a draw, by the way. I think they'll cancel each other out. I think home advantage levels Derby up slightly. Free kick to Derby. But Coventry are a better overall team, so I think this is probably a draw probably suits both teams. The working class traveller says, I'm going to pay Bobby Thomas's wages myself, play up Sky Blues. Fair play, mate. Fair play. If you're only paying him a pittance, then he might be interested in coming to the old Red and White Wizards. Michael says, is it true that the Blades are being linked to Bobby Thomas for $8 million? If true, where has that money come from? Michael, you've only just joined us, haven't you? You must have only just joined us. Portsmouth 0, Norwich 2, Josh Sargent. Paul says, nearly turned off but going to stay. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. You're always welcome here. Bloody hell, 1-1 already, says Jack. It is, mate. It's 1-1 already. I'm enjoying it. It's a good game. So for those that aren't aware, we're 5 away from 2,500 subscribers. If you're here and you're enjoying and you want to be join our club, if you like. I don't know what to do that. First goal in 4 years. Is that right? Beast Boy says, what? I thought Portsmouth would have been decent already. Don't sleep on Norwich this season. They've made some good some strong investments. A couple that I know, a lot that I don't. Cov now passing it along back line. Bobby Thomas. For Blades, who are interested, right centre back. Passes it forward into the middle. I'm just going to watch a little bit of Robert here. Oh, he's passed it sideways, flash backwards, so perfect Robinson replacement. Handball. Looked like handball that, but Mason Clark tries his best to get other side at Derby defender and don't get it. Matty Zetterstrom picks it up. Ben says, I think Radonia's got interest from Southampton. He has, mate. And then if we get Thomas, they will have made some decent coin. Yes, they will. Cov have won just one of their last 21 away league games against Derby. Drawn 9 and lost 11. Ooh. Be a draw today, surely. Be a draw. Nige says, I can't believe people are backing Arsenal to win the league this season. It's very early to call any of it, to be honest. I thought Liverpool looked a little bit questionable down the sides last night. It's a goal kick to Cov as things start to settle a little bit. Yeah, apologies for those that are just joining us and sort of asking similar questions to what we've already talked about. It's tricky because I don't want to keep repeating myself about the same thing. I know you guys haven't necessarily heard it, but them that are here and have stayed don't want to hear the same thing 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's a tricky balance. I might get into it again later. George says, Cov are going for promotion themselves. They're not going to sell the best players. George, we'll see. We'll see, mate. We'll see. You can't just stockpile good players unless you are really going for it. And fair play, you might be. But there's usually no smoke without fire. And I know that we are talking to Coventry about Bobby Thomas. Whether you sell him to us or not is a different conversation. But I know that's happening. And that happens all the time about different people might be talking to us about Gus Hamer now. And it doesn't mean that Gus is going. But these are conversations that always go on. Usually in the off-season as well. In the close, outside of the transfer windows. Always conversations going on and we're talking about Bobby Thomas and evaluation. I know that. That should push us to Jan, says Jack. We've hopefully got a right back, 2 centre backs coming in soon. We just need a right winger and a CDM. Jack, you can't like consider them done just because we're talking to them. You can't, mate. You can't. Right, that's good. They're done. There. Let's move on. You can't. It's not like that, is it? Wait till they're done, and then we'll focus on the next position. Liverpool looked like us, but they bought 2 centre backs. Liverpool looked nothing like us. I know what you're saying. I know the context that you're going for, but Dex says, "Hi Jimmy, how are you? I'm very well, thank you, mate. Hope you're well too. What time are you doing 90 after 90 today? Up the Blades Ramble, up something else. 90 after 90. Oh, ball through from Cov. Missed clearance from Elder, but bounces through to Zetterstrom. 90 after 90. I'm going to my dad's to watch it at 3. So game should finish about 10 to 5, 5 to 5, something like that. I'm going to try and get back to as close to 5 o'clock as I can. I've set it for 15:15. But if I'm back before, and I'll set it all up before I go, then we'll just go live as soon as we get back. Beast Boy says, you seen the Pierce Charles video, Jimmy? No, I haven't, mate. What's the Pierce Charles video? Wrexham are losing 1-0. Oh, no. Ryan Reynolds is there as well. Scott says, George, it's like what Jimmy said. It could be you selling us Thomas and using the money for Hughes or Doyle. That's the domino effect. It certainly could, mate. Put it on the bottom of the screen, Jimmy, regarding the latest transfer rumours. I don't think there's a facility for it. I don't think there's a facility for it on OBS. That's more a StreamYard thing. As the $1 million man said, everyone's got a price. It's wishful thinking. I'm not expecting anything. We are united. It's never easy. Michael says, Jimmy, are you not doing a watch along for the Blades match? No, it's not being legally streamed in the UK, so I'd have to be outside the UK to watch it. It's the 3 PM blackout. Saturday 3 PM games you can't watch. And with YouTube, with what happened recently to my channel, I'm taking no risks. I don't do anything that I shouldn't do in relation to any channels. And I'm not going to start now. Oh, Coventry pick up on edge of box. It's got to be a penalty. It's got to be a penalty. It is. It's a penalty to Cov. Mason Clark wins the pen. I think, is it Dion Sanderson? Deary, deary me. So, it's a ball that comes in. It's cleared by Derby, but it drops to the feet of Mason Clark, who dances around. Dion Sanderson hangs out a ridiculous leg in the box, and it's like a leg sweep. He like crouches down and leg sweeps him, and then tries to claim that it's not a foul. It's a foul all day long. Well done, Mason Clark. It's going to be Hadji Wright to take the penalty. Can Matty save this pen and keep his move to Sheffield United alive? I'll drop that joke, but basically the goalkeeper for Derby is called Zetterstrom as well. Hadji Wright, he's going to do a straight run up. He won't. He'll change it, won't he? Oh, he's making out like he's going on his right foot. Not sure he is. Is he? So it lined up. Ref blows the whistle. Oh no, ref's just saying, get back. Get back. Here he goes. It is a right-footed strike. Oh, smashes it into roof at net, just slightly to the left. Keeper dives to the right way to his right. But it's over the top of him, into the roof of the net. 2-1 to Cov. Good game. Good game, good game. Beast Boy says, what they did to Peck in the club, a blade did it to Pierce Charles. Oh, did they? Don't like that. I'm not a fan of that sort of behaviour. You know, it's hard enough to... Players come say hello to you and get a video with fans. I just think it's poor. We don't have to drop to their level, do we? Nige says, Port Vale down to 10 men. No way was that a red. Never mind being a foul. It was a right tackle. Thank you, Nige, for the updates. Our roaming reporter, Nige, watching the Port Vale game. Oh, we're winning 5-2 today, says Jack. Okay. Fair dues. Deb says, hi, Jimmy. Let's hope it'll be a happy 90 after 90. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles. Like and subscribe. Share to the Best Blades channel. It doesn't cost anything. Thank you, Debs. Really appreciate it. Get a dodgy box, mate, says Joe. I could get a dodgy box. I could get a dodgy stick. I know a lot of people do. No judgment. How do you think I'm going to watch it this afternoon elsewhere away from my abode? But I can't. How do I justify how I've streamed the game? You know, if people start asking questions, oh well, how did we know where you are? How did you get that feed for that game to broadcast it and make money out of that game? So it's just not worth taking the risk, pal. Personally, YouTube will ban him. I don't want to give him a chance, mate. I don't want to give him any chance at all. Thoughts on Ben Doak to Bournemouth for 25 mil? It's a huge price, but that's the going rate, isn't it? Now for a high potential Premier League academy graduate who's shown glimpses. So yeah, it just shows how far away we are from players like that. Just say he's still in Spain, and then say it's a green screen. Yeah, could charge. Somebody else said that in Platinum Chat this morning. Limbs, says George. Yeah, I'd have Limbs as well if that were my team. Pen all day long, says Ben Baboom. If our owners had some bottle, we'd have signed him, says Jack to Scott. I don't know who we're on about. I don't know who you're on about there, to be fair, lads. Johnny says, on a brighter note, Wrexham are losing. Yes, so I hear. To be honest, Jack, the owners have bottle, no doubt about that, choosing to sack Wilder. That's true. That was a very bold decision. Paul says 2-1 or 1-2. Yeah, that's right. George says, ole, ole, ole. Haji, right. And George says, nobody knows where you are. Could be anywhere in the world right now. Yeah, I think most people who watch the channel know where I am because I talk about it on the channel. But it's, I know what you said. And if I could think of an honest way around it, I just want them to end the blackout, basically. That's all I want. I will pay for the subscription that I need. I just want them to, or allow it to be played on SUTV, and I'll buy it through SUTV. Oh, Ben Doak. If we'd have had a bottle, we'd have bought Ben Doak for 25 mil. Come on, Jack. Bobby Thomas down. Back up again. Don't worry. Tough nut. What he's saying is he got elbowed. I'm not sure about that. Might have been winning the ribs from Ivo Adams. Got to get on them two, because once we sign Thomas, I want to sign Adams. So, need to be pals. Yeah, Isaac Price, again, scoring for West Brom against Wrexham. This top six battle is going to be way more competitive this season. Everyone has strengthened, apart from us. 2-1 already, and we're not even half an hour in. Let's have a look. How's my card going? Oh no, line's been taken. Oh man. Another 5 to go now to get second line. Match bingo. My luck's been out with them recently. Here's Radoni on the right hand side. Again, allowed to just drift where he wants to go. Bobby Thomas goes slightly backwards but gets himself into good space. Here comes Radoni now down right hand side. On his left foot though, cuts inside in front of the Derby defender. Surely wins a free kick on edge. He does. He's moved it slightly further back, which is probably right. So he's maybe 25 yards from goal. Right hand side. Not quite at the edge of the box. Radoni causing problems. Derby keep this up. It'll be 4-1 at the end. Michael says Wrexham have paid 10 million for Broadhead from Ipswich. Birmingham have spent big money, and Ipswich Town have raised over £75 million in player sales. The Blades need to recruit big to match them. I'm not concerned about Wrexham. I don't think Broadhead's worth 10 million. I think it's a really good deal by Ipswich. Birmingham have forced their way into probably playoff reckoning, I would say. They were a good side against us the other night. Should have been more against our reserves. And I think they'll be a good team this year. Jack says, they've been in the Prem one season and raised 75 million. What have we done wrong? Well, they've got rid of Delap and Hutchinson. So they're two huge players. We did the same with Ramsdale. 30 million for Ramsdale, wasn't it? I'm sure they'd rather have Delap than the £30 million in the pocket. Here we go then. Cross coming in from top. It's a shot, and it's straight at Zetterstrom, who parries it, but has to dive on top of it. That wasn't very convincing from the Derby keeper. Top just smashes it, and it is straight at the keeper, but he was not convincing there at all. A little bit dodgy. He's not actually wearing... I'm sure last season Zetterstrom were wearing a head guard. I don't think he's wearing it now. You know, like Peter Cech used to wear. Flick on by Morris, who was having his shirt pulled. Here comes Caden Jackson. Surely wins a free kick on the edge. He does. This one's right on the edge of the D. Pretty much Scott Twine territory, where, if for all Blades watching, this is where this free kick's going to be. Good flick on from Carlton Morris, who was having his shirt pulled. Caden Jackson dances around a little bit, and he's taken down by number 27, which is Van Uwick. Try saying it's not a foul, but it definitely is. Definitely is. Slightly further back than Scott Twine was. Maybe 4 yards back, 5 yards back from the D. Oh no, it's not. It's not even that. It's 2.5. Rushworth lining up his wall. Broadhead's coming on for Windass already. Is there a knock or an injury or something? We spent barely any in the Prem, that's why, says Charger. No, it's just Ipswich made a lot of money this transfer window, done some very good business for their club. Broadhead is 3 million max. Benjamin Baboon says, should score this. I think it's it's a difficult thing to do. Jada Silva has just moved the ball because he thought the Derby player was moving it, so he's... Tell you what, that ref is fighting a losing battle with that airline. Calling it now, this ref will have bicked his head this time next season. Because if he runs fast enough, the top of it's falling off. Right, is it going to be Thompson to take the free kick or Elder? I would be going with Elder after scoring that first goal. Thompson with the right foot, Elder with the left. It's not Elder, it's Thompson. Oh, it's just over the bar. Hard lines. Hard lines. It's decent technique, but he's too close to get the dip that he needs on it. It does come, but it's after it's gone. It's not quite in the top corner either. Matt says, let's hope Cooper plays today with his rumours that he carries a knock. He is carrying a knock. There's no doubt about it. Oh, it's a back pass to Zetterstrom, and he left him short, being well closed down, but it's recovered, and Callum Elder comes away with it, plays it straight to the Coventry player. This is why I don't rate him. It were a great free kick, and he'd played well in opening 10. I think he's a weak link. I think both left backs are weak links. Matt Grimes is fouled in his own half. Yeah, Cooper is definitely carrying a knock. And I'm hoping it's not serious. I'm told it doesn't require surgery, or they don't think it requires surgery. So hopefully he can work through it. After this, obviously he had a rest midweek, didn't play against Birmingham. Crossed into the box, and it ricochets off Thompson. It's back now among Coventry's back line, halfway line. Obviously we were rested in the week, so he's had a little bit of recovery time. Fingers crossed he's got little to do today and doesn't have to exert himself, and then he's got another week till Millwall. So just got to manage him carefully, because we've not, all due respect to Davo, he's nowhere near the level of Michael Cooper, is he? And that would be a huge downgrade, in my opinion. As would most people on Michael Cooper, by the way. Seta Strong collects a cross that's too close to him. Our time will come, says Jack. I think the new owners underestimated how hard it is to run a club. Wilder made it look easy, probably. Kyle says, was the Thomas goal any good, Jimmy? Brilliant technique. Really good. No, to be fair, mate, it was a cross that got fired in directly towards the goalkeeper from a free kick. Keeper parries it out, and Thomas was following in anyway. So he parries it, and it smacks Thomas on head and goes into goal. Brave, though. Puts his head in. Loose pass from Derby. And here come Cov. Thomas Asante into the box. It's a corner. They were trying to get a penalty out of it, but he wins a corner. Michael says, Jimmy, any chance that the Blades might get some of the players they had on loan last season, like Raksaki, Hamza, Brereton Diaz, and Clark as loan deals again? Very little chance. Very, very little chance. No, I don't think we will. Is the ref Bannon's dad? Says Benjamin Baboon. Bean says, Jimmy, if you had to guess how many new faces before next Saturday, 2. I'll go 2, and I'll hope for 3. That's what I'm guessing. That's his son. Jimmy Baboon. Yeah, it's Bannon's son, is the ref. Crossed in from Cov top. It's headed away from Derby, edge of the box. It comes to De Silva, and it's conversion. 2 points. Well over the bar. Cooper carrying a knock, probably the worst start to a season. What's next? Don't, because it can always get worse. Nige reckons there's going to be 4. Wu, Matt, Tim, and hopefully Thomas. He's optimistic. Who's wearing captaincy for Cov? It'll be Matt Grimes, I think. It doesn't tell you on here, does it? I think it'll be Grimes, but I'll have a look, actually. I'll have a closer look. Claire will know if she's still about. In fact, let's see if it tells us. Coventry in possession at a minute. Does it tell you on the team sheet? Oh, it's Liam Kitchen. Liam Kitchen's captain. He'll do that. Yeah, he will do, Kyle. We love a bit of Bobby Thomas sticking his head in. We were saying earlier, I think he reminds me a little bit of Chris Morgan light. I really like him. Do you think we should go? Excuse me. Do you think we should go for a better number 2? Because Davis scares me. I've been an advocate of that for a while, but there are bigger priorities at the minute. I think you need to make sure the 11's stocked before you look at what's beneath it. And at the minute, I think the 11's weaker because of the defensive situation. Oh, that's dodgy from Grimes. Derby on the attack. Shot. Oh, what a save from Rushworth. Great shot from Ibu Adams, I think it was. And Rushworth turns it round the post. Oh, it's not. 24. Nyambe. Ryan Nyambe. Great shot. I'm not sure it was definitely on target, but Rushworth makes sure and pushes it round post for a corner. Who's wearing captaincy for Cov? That's what we said, weren't it? Oh, sorry, I'm reading the same thing. Lino's standing over ball because I think ref's dealing with some shirt pulling. Charger reckons it's going to be 3. Tim, Bobby, and Matty. I hope Bobby's done. I really hope it is. Corner now from Elder in swinger. Another good one, but it's cleared. The Kitchen edited it out now. Carlton Morris on edge at box. Crossed in by Caden Jackson, headed away. Good game, this. Jackson again on left hand side. He wants to be in box, really. Weaves in and out, but it's a deep cross behind his man. Can he keep it in? He's offside anyway. First goal decides today, I think. If we concede first, I think our heads will drop. If we can go ahead, I think we'll win. I don't think that's a bad shout, Bean, to be honest. I think that's probably about right. I think it'll be tight. I don't think If you look, I think Swansea created the least amount of chances out of anybody in last Championship game week. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Michael says, Jimmy, have you watched Chris Wilder's interview on the Sports Agent podcast discussing last season's Blades campaign and his sacking? No, I haven't, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will watch that when I get 2 minutes. Because Sayers could use the captain's armband as an incentive. Yes, he could. He could. Jack says, even though it's been quite negative these past couple of weeks, I've just about found my head. I do like what Sayers has done to the attack. We look dangerous. And I hope that Bobby and Tim come. Jamie Dumpling says, afternoon, Jim. Lovely weather in Swansea. Matchday Scran review incoming. I've got your Matchday Scran review because you've sent it me. He's doing our Ramble on the Road. Thank you to Jamie Dumpling, as always. Have you sent me any more? No, you haven't. Here come Cov again. Crossed in. Punched clear. What a punch that is by Zetterstrom. That's like one of them that you do on machine at Fairground. Rodoni cross as it comes back in, but it misses everybody. Zetterstrom punched it. He jumped. And it went 30 yards clear. Bean says, would love to see what's gone on behind the scenes this summer. There's so many obvious centre-backs we could have gone for. Darling, Dunn, Nat Phillips. Do you know who was on our list this summer? I don't think Nat Phillips was, but the other two certainly were. What does it change now, Bean? What does it change? It's just been really disappointing. Now, another match day scranning coming. Don't you be advertising your own stuff? Dumpling. Trying to break away. Unbelievable. Matt says, it's in the last 11 games, we've not lost in Wales. Yes, that was a stat that I think Joe came up with in the chat, wasn't it? I think we're level. Joe, what did Joe? I don't want anybody. I want the correct credit to go to whoever came up with it, but we've not lost in Wales in our last 11 visits or something. And if we avoid defeat today, we break the record, something like that. Fab Romano reporting that Eberici Eze has told Palace he wants to join Tottenham. In swinging, oh no, it's a short corner again from Cov. Grimes to top, but it's blocked. Well done. Don't even make it into the box. And here come Derby. Oh, that's a poor ball, but Caden Jackson, can he get away? No, he can't. It's going to be a free kick. Skyblades, a suggestion, Jimmy. Do you think the Prince would do a slot with you and explain the possible issue we are having at the moment regarding the owner's perspective? Could be enlightening and informative. I will certainly speak to him about it, Sky. What I would say about that is, I wouldn't want to, but also why would Prince Abdullah want to put himself in a difficult position like that? If he has got some sort of, or any working relationship with the current owners or any prospective future relationship, and I'm not saying he has, but if there is any prospect of that, why would he come on and speak for them? It's a really fine line that you've got to gauge. But I will certainly talk. I'm due to speak to him anyway, to be honest. So I will speak to him about whether he wants to come on and discuss that. But I will be surprised if he does. I'll certainly have a chat with him though. It's going to be a Derby free kick, very deep, in Coventry's half, but it's a deep corner. He does a dummy. What is going on there from Derby? He did a dummy to himself. Anyway, deep cross comes in eventually. It looks like it's going out to nothing. Adams, I think it is, that keeps it in. Or somebody keeps it in. Ozo. Nambi crosses it in. Oh, looks on ball. Looks on ball, that. That looked on ball. And ref's now called for a penalty. After he said no originally, this is really controversial. It looked a deliberate handball to take it off the head of Matt Clark. It was, and is it Bobby Thomas? He said it's a shove in the back. Bobby Thomas handball, and it's up here and all. It's up here. It's a definite penalty. Over his head. He said he got shoved in back. So cross comes in. He's not been pushed at all. He's not been pushed. 0-0. Cha-ching! 3-0. It's a definite penalty. What are you doing, Thomas? It's a yellow card to Matt Clark for chelping, and it's a yellow card to Bobby Thomas, probably for the handball itself. Called it straight away, and the ref goes like this, no. And then 5 seconds, play continues after getting hassled and harried by everybody on the pitch, and probably a word from his lino. Right. It's got to be. He's given the pen, hasn't he? Yeah. Rushworth just sort of getting ready now to take it. I'll catch up with comments after this, but that was incredible. Carlton Morris stepping up to take this. They are delaying as best they can, which is a regular tactic now for teams, isn't it? We've got a minute added on. Rushworth, let's see what the hype's about then now. Is he going to step up and show people why he's so highly rated? I do rate him as a goalkeeper. Can he keep out Carlton Morris? We'll have to wait and see. Ref in position. Is he going to blow his whistle? He does. Morris takes a deep breath. He runs up, stutters, and he slots it the wrong side of Rushworth goal, 2-2. So he plays it to his right along the floor. Rushworth dives to Rushworth's right, which is obviously Morris's left. 2-2. Bit of a Desmond going on. Really good that. Really good half this. It's not finished yet. Saying now 3 minutes added, obviously, because of the penalty. It's not even a good penalty. I think he's trying to wait for Rushworth to commit. He's just like as he's running up. It worked anyway, whatever he did. Rob says, if Sayers plays the same system today in what I think has been a 4-3-3 with Hamer getting in pecs way too deep, then what Reading fans are saying is that he has no plan B. It worries me he won't adapt. Abbott the same. 1-1 at Wrexham, says Scott. Mike Tyson's in goal. Yeah, well thought. Zetterstrom. This is good, this, and I'm glad it's 2-2 because both teams have still got something to play for. Usually in the second half, it can kill the momentum. If Coventry had come out, it's crossed into the box by Radoni. It's over at Asante's head. Zetterstrom collects. Oh, good game, this. Good game. Usually, if it had stayed 2-1, then Coventry could have tried to kill the game a little bit, and it'd have been a lot of derby possession, attack versus defence. But because it's open, 2-2 going into the second half, let's have more of the same, please. That's a shame, says Jack, about Wrexham scoring. Lewis O'Brien, good player. How many years have we talked about Lewis O'Brien on this channel? Since we've been going, we're nearly 3 years old as a channel. Sorry, on Blade Ramble. This channel's very young. I'm not sure we want to come out and speak against the current owner. He would want to come out and speak against the current owner. He certainly won't. That's not what we're asking him to do, though, is it? Sky's saying, can he give his opinion on the situation? Tell him to get him told. Twisted Reality says, Cov unlikely to sell Bobby without bringing someone else in first. We currently only have 2 fit centre-backs. Well, Bobby's lucky that he's not facing a ban, to be honest. That went out. Couldn't keep it in. Caden Jackson, it's a throw into Cov. Down the right-hand side. Unless they've got a long thrower, which it looks like they might have because they're all lining up in the box. Van Uwick, has he got a bit of a Jackie Long throw on him? Let's have a look. Gonna be launched. Oh, he has for a little lad and all. It's headed clear. And that's got to be it, ref. We're only a minute added before pen. We've played nearly 50 minutes. Grimes helps it back in. Sanderson clears. And it's hoofed downfield. Ref's saying it's a throw. Keeps going again. And Van Uwick's saying, right, well, if you're going to let us carry on, then I'll give you another long throw, even from right back, going at left-hand side. If I'm Derby, I'm not happy with this. it should have been called now, but we'll wait and see. Van Newick lining it up again. Another long throw in. Bullet throw this time, and it's headed clear. Still no whistle. Scooped in by Grimes. And the ref... Ooh! The ref calls it for a head injury to Elder, who's down in the box. Which is a tactical player usually, isn't it? And it certainly looks that way. But just as the ball got crossed in, after the ref had blown, Matt Clark looks like he takes out the Coventry attacker in box. Even commentators are saying there's not much. It's a load of rubbish. Absolute load of rubbish. And he should be going off now. He should be going off for a little bit. I don't know whether that's the protocol. It's a tactic. I don't like it because concussions are serious things. And how do you prevent that? How do you prevent players going down and holding their heads? The ref has to stop it when they see an head injury. They have to. And I don't just mean because of the rules. I think it's morally the right thing to do. Because if the ref hasn't seen it, you can't take any risks. But if you are, it's just wrong, innit? It's just wrong, really. Paul says, is your game a must-win today, in your opinion, Jimmy? I was optimistic about Leeds until we signed old peg-leg DCL. I think, just to talk on Calvert-Lewin for a minute, we love him here, and we, as Blades, I hope he's a success for you. Genuinely, I really like him as a player. Don't want him to do super well for Leeds, but I want him to do well for himself. So they're giving it back to Derby. That's really interesting. They're going to blow a whistle anyway now. But yeah, like him as a person. Hope he does well for you. Zetterstrom with the ball now. But I think he'll be another Pat Bamford, I'll be honest. I think he will be another injury-prone player that you're paying a lot of money to. Can be good when you get him fit. Yeah, it's half-time. What are they trying to do? They're trying to push me towards being late for Sheffield United game. What's going off here? Wrexham 1-1 says David. Yeah, thank you, mate. From Bobby. Says Ben, that's Bobby Thomas handball. Says Scott, of course, the player we want goes and handballs it. Says Jack, his value's gone down now. Says Ray, absolutely right. We'll take 3 mil, or they'll take 3 mil. Someone asked him, "Who wants to join the Blades?" And he put his hand up. Hey, at least that drops his price. Says Nige. Sky says, I thought it was a chance for him to defend the owners by explaining the difficulties they face. Maybe calm some of the nerves. Right now, owners are El Diablo. Yeah, it could be that opportunity, and if he sees it as an opportunity to do that, then he's always welcome on. He knows that anyway. But yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see if I can have a chat with him about it. Morris misses this. Joke that pushed him. Says Rye. What's a joke that pushed him? Oh, it's a joke saying that they pushed him. I stand corrected. It's all right, Jack. If you can't defend them, then okay, stay quiet. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We'll see what he says, mate. 2-2 says Paul. Jack says Skyblade makes sense, but they should be defending themselves. We are their fan base now. Lewis O'Brien was the scorer to make it 1-1, says Matt. Skyblade says, yeah, but they're not speaking, and that's affecting the fan base negatively as we don't know what is going on. Maybe a different view would help. Possibly, yeah. Joe says, afternoon, Jim. Do you know if Wu takes an ESC slot if he signs? The only consistencies are Wu and Zetterstrom who get linked consistently. I know Zetterstrom would take one, but I don't know about Wu. I don't think he would. I think he's more established. He's been playing in European competitions, hasn't he, for Red Star? So I don't think he does. I will try and find out, but I don't fully understand it myself, to be honest. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Keep up the great content. Thank you, mate. And Paul says, half time. 2-2. Certainly is. Is anybody else playing Match Bingo today? Because mine's just got away from me a little bit. Has the second line gone yet? No, it hasn't. Oh, 3 to go. 3 to go. I need a goal ending in like in the 49th or 59th minute. I need a yellow card shown in the 51st or 61st minute. I need 2 subs from Cov. That's a lot to ask. A lot to ask. I'm not winning this summer. Ah, man. Jamie Dumpling sending me more videos. It's a frightening thought, isn't it? Cheers, Jay. Appreciate that. Jack says, they might not know how to address us. They do seem quite slow. I don't think they will talk to us. This is, again, apologies to those that are here for the neutral content, but I don't think the ownership will address the fan base directly. From what I understand, and I've said this before on Blades Ramble, Stephen Bettis will come out after the window and talk to the fan base. Last time he did that, if we all remember rightly, it calmed a lot of people down. He speaks really well. It was with Radio Sheffield, and I think it was released on Sheffield United's YouTube page as well and social media platforms. He calmed a lot of the fan base down in terms of how he explained the processes that we were going through. Now, some may say that's spin, but whatever it is, we just need to hear something from them. And I think it won't just stretch to questions about the transfer window. It was Rob Staten last time, who was great, and I rate all the Radio Sheffield presenters. So whoever it is that represents, it might not even be Radio Sheffield, but I'm just assuming it will be. I know, or I'm confident the right. Sorry, I was just looking at some of the stats there, but I'm confident the right questions will be asked to settle the fan base. So, yeah, I was going to say something else there, but I won't. Jack says, they might not know how to address us. They do seem quite slow. Matty on the bench for Malmo. I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it? He's meant to be their best centre-half at the moment. So, or certainly one of their starters. They're just showing some highlights here. So anybody that's not seen it, it's now being shown on Sky. The Bobby Thomas header ricochet. Bettis will do damage control. It will, mate, and that's part of the reason he's speaking to us, isn't it? But he is also a bridge between the board and the fan base. He knows, he's been with us long enough now to know what we want in terms of clarification and communication. I think he'll settle us. I do. I don't know what he's going to say. I've no idea what he's going to say. He might, a little bit like Ruben's saying, he might say it's not been good enough and we've learned and things like that. Or it might be a case of, just because we're not sharing it doesn't mean it's not happening. We've learned about, we may need to share a little bit more with the fan base, but that might damage potential deals and stuff like that. I'm really intrigued to see what he says, but I don't think we'll ever hear from the board themselves in terms of Helmi Atuki or Steve Rosen. I don't think we'll hear directly from them at all. I'll be surprised. So yeah, they're showing highlights now, and that is a ridiculous leg sweep from Dion Sanderson. Hadji Wright with a good penalty. I don't think. Oh, he's blowing kisses as he celebrates. I missed that at the time. But yeah, it's really tough to save that pen. Frank loves that. And then Torp's had a decent game, but he's been particularly dangerous from set plays. Obviously, his free kick led to the first one. They're just showing another one now where he smashed it towards the keeper. It moves a little bit looking at that replay, and that's the one where he parried it and had to dive on top of it. Another free kick being shown there from Derby, just over the bar from Thompson. I'd let Elder take that after he's scored a free kick already. Caden Jackson were weaving in and out. And that Ryan Nyambe shot, was that on target? It might show you another angle to that. This angle here, I think that's... Oh, it might... I think it's going to hit the post, possibly. And this was the handball from Bobby Thomas. Ref gave it a good 4 or 5 seconds before blowing. It originally said no. So, Matt Clark did have hands on back of Bobby Thomas, to be fair. It's never a push. One team, Jim, I think you will surprise everyone this season. It's dangerous to say Swansea today, isn't it? Birmingham, I don't think count. I don't think you can say they surprise anybody, because I don't think they will. Oh, hang on, before I enter that, it's still 2-0 to Norwich at Portsmouth. I think Norwich will go well this season. Wrexham 1-1 with West Brom. There's a few that could. There's a few. I think QPR will go well this year. I think they've signed really well. I know Ian's just said that Poku's out for 3 months, which is a big blow for him. I think Kone is a good signing for him. I think Millwall have got a good front line now with Coburn and Ivanovic. They've kept Tanganga, haven't they, so far? I think Derby are building a decent, tidy little side. I think there's a few. I do like look at Swansea. Hope they don't turn it on today. Rob says, I've just realised Brewster isn't playing. Is he injured already? No. Beast Boy said earlier he can't play until the next international break. I still don't know why that is. If anybody can shed any light, then I'm all ears. But I just assumed that because he hadn't had much of a pre-season, then that was probably why he wasn't included today. Millwall, but is it a surprise, says Luke. No, possibly not. Possibly not. I think Oxford will go well this year. I think Oxford have got a decent side. So fingers, I say fingers crossed. I'm not really bothered either way. When you surprise everyone, you don't necessarily just mean good, do you, I suppose? Sheffield United. I don't think Wednesday will be the walkovers that everybody thinks, if I'm being completely honest. Judging mostly on their performance against Leicester, I think if they lose Pierce Charles, they're in big trouble. But I think they'll strengthen a little bit now that they've started to steady the ship a little bit on the field. And I think with a little bit of depth, they'll still finish bottom, but it won't be a gulf like we were all expecting. Best signing so far? Do you mean in the champ? Or do you mean, I assume you mean in the championship? I think Tommy Doyle for Birmingham's a real statement. Real statement signing. But again, I'd have to have a look properly and see. But Tommy Doyle's the first one that jumps out at me personally. Wu wouldn't, as he gets points for playing in the Champions League, and his league will still get some. And I think he plays internationally. He does play internationally. So yeah, that's Charger answering the earlier question about the ESC spots. Thank you, Charger, for clarifying that. I was just going to see if I could see where that originally came from. No, I can't find it. Which will come as no surprise to anybody, to be honest. I can't find where the original question was, but that was answering whether we need 2 slots for Wu and Zetterstrom. Wu's not done yet, obviously. So we can't just assume, because we think it might happen, that it definitely will. But it's looking quite positive. Can do champ. Yeah, I think Tommy Doyle's the first one that jumps out at me. But if I had time to get transfer market up and have a look at all the players, in fact, let's have a little cheeky look while it's half time. Championship transfers. Wish this keyboard worked a little bit. Championship transfer window. So let's have a look. Birmingham. Ironically, first team to come up, obviously. Yeah, Tommy Doyle's a great signing for them. Blackburn haven't really brought anybody in of note. Bristol City. Emil Rees looked really good for them against us, but we met him. I think Charlton have done some really smart business. I won't say they've got necessarily signings of the season over the line, but Rankin Costello from Blackburn is an underrated one. Kaminsky from Luton. Well, everybody from Luton. Reece Burke and Mari Bell, they've got them as well. Charlie Kelman, highly rated from QPR. Cov, Kessler Hayden. Carl Rushworth. Derby, Patrick Adjeman, who I really think could do big things. He's coming for big money, but we'll see. We'll see how he gets on. Hull, some kid called Ollie McBurney, never heard of him. Ipswich, Cajuste. A lot of people are saying Cajuste is a player to watch. He was with them in the Premier League, wasn't he? Chubarak Pom's just come in as well at Ipswich. Leicester haven't done much yet. Borough's Shonti Hansen, who a lot of Blades wanted. Callum Britton at Blackburn's a decent signing as well. Josh Coburn's come in at Millwall permanently this time from Borough. Norwich have made loads of big signings. Topic looks a real player from what I've seen of him early doors. 24-year-old defensive midfielder. Harry Darling's a good deal on a free. Oxford, De Kierschmacher. If anybody watched that video with me and Man Mountain, found that funny talking about him, to be honest. Cosy Mark II has gone to Portsmouth, and John Swift will play a big part for them this season. Preston have signed Ring and Chariot. Oh, that's me going back to that thing, isn't it? QPR have had a good window. Richard Coney and Poku. I think Poku, as we said, Poku might be injured, but I think that's good business from them. I like our signings. Southampton, Damon Downs and Quasi, who played the other night. Stoke, look out for Divin Mubama. Good player on loan from City. Sorba Thomas is a smart bit of business from him as well. Swansea have signed Ethan Galbraith, who a lot of us like. Inusa as well has come in for €6 million from Hacken. Unproven. Watford. Nobody really. Iran Kunda. Who's the he's the Bayern Munich lad, isn't he? Iran Kunda. He might be one to watch. Wrexham, a lot of business. Lewis O'Brien's a great signing for them. He levels them up, doesn't he? Connor Cody, good signing. Obviously, Broadhead's the statement for them. Anyway, teams are back out. Thank you for the question, Jack. Sorry to rattle on there, but I think it's all right to have a little look at what other teams have been doing. Charger says, Woo wouldn't, as he gets, oh yeah, we said that, we've seen that. Rob says, Bristol City could be a surprise, or was that down to us? Yeah, possibly. Gerard Struber's a good coach. I know Cal really rates him as a good manager, and they could sort of sneak under the radar a little bit again this season. Matt says, when will the Pigs and Leicester get a points deduction? It's not happening soon enough, is it? Not happening soon enough. Jack says, Tommy Doyle so far for me. We really missed out big time with that one. Yeah, I still think we're strong in centre midfield, but okay. Right, cool. Just got a little bit more. There's been some strong signings this season. This is what I thought our window would have looked like. 17 days left, and I'm not counting, I promise. Matt Grimes is standing over at centre circle to kick off for Cov and get us back underway. Not already. Thanks to everyone for joining us, but make sure you are liking and subscribing if you're enjoying the content. It's been a good game, this. I'm looking forward to this second half. Grimes kicks off. Right, Coventry in possession, come over halfway. Radoni back to the Silva. It's a throw into Derby County. Stephen Seagal says, what happened with Caceres? Have we sold for a loss? Yes, we have, mate. Yes, we have. I think there'll be some clever little clauses in there, like buybacks and sell-ons, and a lot of sort of trying to compare it to the Cameron Archer deal. I don't think it's like it's not completely dissimilar, but that was a unique deal in itself. That was more imperative as to what we did, rather than it won't be a case. Oh my goodness me! Ball drops in loads of space on edge of box to Thomas Asante, and he rifles it wide. So he zooms through the middle all on his own. Matt Clark's got to close him down. Somebody's got to close him down. It's not dependent on what Dunfermline do, which is the difference in the Archer deal. If we'd have stayed up, we'd have had to sign Cameron Archer. It's not dependent on Dunfermline. It will be heavily in Sheffield United's favour because Dunfermline are getting a gift here, aren't they? They're getting a player for probably next to note, if not note. And it might be a case of we can sign him back for 100 grand whenever we want. That might be the situation. We paid him to take him, Stephen. No, we didn't. Let's hope we get Tim Shawadi in from Everton, says Dave. Why, though, I wonder? It was to free up the 4th work permit slot, essentially. They're called ESC slots, or ECS, whatever they are. It's a work permit slot. He's got to be offside. Yes, he is. Had you right, it's offside there. Joe said, and we'd filled all 4. You get 4 for unproven foreign players, and we had to get rid of one because we want Zetterstrom in, who doesn't qualify for a work permit under traditional means. So to get Zetterstrom, we had to get Caceres out of the club. Oh, team news soon for Sheffield United. Okay. Joe says we're stacked in centre midfield, to be fair. Oh, hang on, Derby. Here comes Boo Adams. He cuts in, though, and he's drowned out by 2 players. It's cleared, and Sanderson picks it up. I wonder if that was a little bit of hands, but he spins, and the ball goes back into Derby's possession. Joe says stacked in centre midfield, to be fair. Right back, 3 new centre halves of real quality. Need a pacey, technical right and left winger if we're really going to push for autos. Also depends on Sayers getting the system right. There's a lot of intangibles in the Joe. I agree with you on the whole. In terms of being stacked in centre midfield, I agree with that as well. I think Samare helps with the balance. I think we've got real quality in centre midfield, but I don't necessarily think we've got the defensive balance if we're going to go with somebody like Gus Emer, who is so much of a maverick, who likes to go forward and isn't very positionally disciplined. I think we need somebody. Tim Eregbunham would be ideal for what we want. Samari might be able to do the job, and we might see that today. We're going to find out probably. It's usually an hour before kickoff, but with them saying team news soon, it might even come out at 1:15. So we'll see. Hang on, what's Connor tagging me in on? Chris Wilder talking about I tried to bully Arsenal and it didn't work, and Connor's laughing at me. That's from the podcast that somebody's referred us to today. I'll have a look at that later, Connor. Thank you very much. Charger says, I think Iran Kundry is not a bad pickup for Watford. Highly rated across Europe and in Australia. Yeah, he's supposed to be a good player. Never seen him play. Bobby Thomas doesn't get it clear, and it's a goal. That's a poor clearance from Bobby Thomas. It's a throw-in that comes in. Bobby Thomas is the one there to head it away, but he gets above it and nods it down. Basics are defending, head up, attacking, head down. Well, Bobby Thomas gets over it, so he has to head down, and it drops to the feet of Ibu Adams. It's poor. It's like a swept effort, and it's the outside of his foot. It's decent technique for somebody probably slightly off balancing Adams there, and it goes past Rushworth, and it's 3-2 to Derby. Are you sure, Cov fans, you want a bit of Bobby Thomas? Because we'll take him off your hands. Look, if you have to pay us a little bit of money to take Bobby Thomas, we will take him. I know he looks a liability for you. We'll take him. Don't you worry. Great insight. Thanks, Jim. Makes a lot of sense now. Thank you, pal. I rely on other people as well, don't worry. It's not all here. It's different places and people helping us out. We're a community, aren't we? We try and keep each other informed. But that's a good goal from Derby. Conor Cody and Robbo are big pals. Both were at Liverpool at the same time. Says Andrew. Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of friends in football. Tim Eregbunham is big pals with Louis Barry. So that I think that might give us the edge in terms of. There were rumours that somebody else were in for Tim. I don't think they are. I think it's a false report, to be honest. But I'm confident that deal goes through if we can free up that loan spot. Ray says, I like how Thomas is always organising the defence, just as Derby score. I know. Jack says, Samari looks really good. Also, the Wilder podcast was a good watch. I'll see if I can get it on. 3-2 says Paul. Thank you, mate. Hope the rumours of Bobby Thomas are fake. Joking. Bobby doing everything he can not to get transferred. Who's been the better side today? I think it's been very even, to be fair, George. I assume you're a Cov man, but I think it's been even. And I think it's gone similar to how we thought it might, where Cov, I think, are the slightly better team, but the home advantage levels Derby up a little bit, and I think they've played well today as well. Joe says, agree, Jim. Get Irigbunham and Samari already would make us incredibly strong with CDMs also. The key is not relying on one holding midfielder all season as we did last year with Sousa. Correct, mate. Correct. It does give you depth then in that. If we got Tim Irigbunham, that would be our strongest position by a country mile. And Derby pick it up again on the edge. Sloppy that from Cov. They're just going to retain possession, I think, here. Be a little bit more sensible. Adams keeps it well. Told you about Ibu Adams, didn't I? Early doors. Matt Clark scoops it forward. He's going to go out of play that, I think. Bobby Thomas sees it out. You can see it finishing 4-3 today. I still fancy it draw, to be honest. But it's going to be narrow, isn't it? One way or other. It was QPR apparently in for Tim. I don't think it's true, mate. I don't think it's true. Forget Thomas. Let's go Hughes or Doyle, says David. Headed forward by Derby. And that's going to be a goal kick to Cov. Just googled about Rian. Says on Derby's Facebook he's been injured and only just started training. Teams are out. Teams are out. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news on the Ramble. Let's get the team news out. So they're doing it earlier now. They're doing it an hour and a quarter before kickoff. Oh, they're doing it in number order again. So Cooper in goal, obviously. Robinson captain. Oh, what? What? It's going to be Sariki at right back, Bindon and Robinson, and then Burrows at left back. It's Hamer and Peck again. O'Hare in the 10, probably. Oh, no, Samari's playing. Hang on, Samari's there. So it's going to be Samari and Peck, probably. Oh, it's what we wanted, other than Robinson. It's going to be Samari and Peck in the 2. It's going to be O'Hare and Hamer in the 10 and right. Put whichever one you want. I assume it's O'Hare on the right. Could be Hamer on the right, but the other one's in the 10. Barry on the left. And Ty Campbell up top. Like that, other than Robinson, who should never have played for our club again. The bench is questionable at best. Adam Davis, Sam McCallum, Tom Cannon, Andre Brooks, Ukaki, One, Curtis, who was earned a spot on the bench, I think, with his performance of the night, Norrington Davis, and Hampson. Feel for Dovis Asnaukas, who hasn't made the bench. Wonder if he picked anything up, but it's harsh on him, I think. And Hampson with Norrington Davis. So I like that team. That's probably the strongest team on paper we could have gone for, including Robinson, because obviously he's our second best centre half, unfortunately. So on paper, that is the strongest side we can field, I think. I don't mind it at all. Don't mind it at all. And I have to say, because he called me out on this the other day, when I said, I got it wrong with Peck and Hamer together, he didn't say, yeah, but I got it right. Why didn't you tell everybody I got it right? Andy the Blade called it. Andy the Blade said they wouldn't work together and he'd play Samari instead of Peck. Well, Peck's playing now. So, anyway, like that. That front four, O'Hare, Hamer, Barry and Campbell, I'll have a bit of that. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what people are saying. That lineup is exactly what we need, says Rob. Remember this positive energy. I don't just mean from Rob. I mean, look, we are all, at the minute, or I certainly am, Rob is, whoever else might be, happy with the lineup at the moment. Because we've been doing this long enough now to know that this changes. This changes, doesn't it? If we go 1-0 down, and then heads go down and we lose the game 3-0, there'll be people saying, why did he pick that team? That is a rubbish team. It's all on Sayers, this. We are all happy. Or tell me if you're not happy with the team and tell me why. Tell me what you do differently. I like that team. The only thing I would change is Robinson, but that's on a moral standing rather than an ability standing. O'Hare on the right, Beast Boy, I assume. No creativity on that right. Scott says O'Hare can't take anyone on. Beast Boy, some of your takes. Hadji right on the edge of the box. Smashes it across goal and it's cleared. Well blocked by Derby. De Silva. Hadji right now, who is on the left to be fair. Takes it to the byline. Drags it back and it's a corner to Cov. Samari starting, says Jack. Love that. What we're going to say, Beast Boy. O'Hare can't take anyone on. Some of your takes bewilder me at times. You're entitled to your own opinion, but I don't agree with that. Samari starting, says Jack. 10th in the league at the minute. Come on, you Rams. Paul, I didn't realise you were a Ram, pal. But yeah, absolutely. Nothing against Derby County. Beast Boy says, not happy with that lineup at all. What would you change, Beast Boy? For flip's sake, what would you change? Outswinging corner from Cov. It's headed and it's straight to Zetterstrom. Well done, Matty. Rob says, if that's a 4-2-3-1, then Sayers has adapted. Wait, Brewster's injured, says Beast Boy. Yes, apparently so. Apart from Robbo, I like it, says Jack. Who's playing out on the right wing then? It's either O'Hare or Hamer. And they might switch during the game. Adams in possession for Derby. No. Robbo should be out the door. I agree. Matt reckons O'Hare's on the right wing. O'Hare, I'm guessing, for the right wing position, says Jack. Should be a lot stronger defensively. But that bench is worse than last season's. It's not a strong bench, is it? Thought O'Hare was our best player centrally last week, defensively as well. Not sure about sticking him out wide. Don't know if we are doing Matt. It might be Gus that goes out wide because he had a successful season wide left, didn't he? Last year. That's a dodgy tackle from Nyambe, and that's a free kick. Don't feel bad for Sassy. He was woeful last time out. I disagree. I think his error was woeful, and I think he then gave away a stray pass, which was pretty poor. And after that, I thought he picked up really well. I don't think he was great, but I think he's earned a place on the bench from his overall performance and the way he carried himself after that mistake. Takes a lot for a young 18-year-old kid, or however old he is, to recover from that sort of lapse in concentration, and I thought he did really well. Joe says, how does that line up? Minus Robbo, not get top 6. Come on, you red and white wizards. Oh, it's Thomas Asante. What a block. What a block. From Danny Bart. Another one of Eustace's former Blackburn boys. He be a Blackburn boy. I know we're short, but I'm not happy Robinson is in the squad, says Nige. You're not the only one, pal, but I understand it. I'm just not happy about it. George says Blade's literally trying to assemble a Mark Robbins side. Who's played under Mark Robbins? There'll be a few. I can't even think of any off the top of me. I'm sure there will be a few. Obviously, the Coventry boys. Oh, shot from the edge of the box from top. Left-footed volley. Good technique, but well held by Zetterstrom. I think O'Hare will drift centrally to help the press, says Charger. Jack says, I like that he's made adjustments. Plan B reinforced. Plan B enforced. Well done, Ruben. He hasn't made adjustments, really, has he? He's changed the personnel. I'm not sure he's made big adjustments. David says, what Sassy picked up was a pass back. A touch harder. Was pass ball back up? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that properly. It's best team we've got, says Matt. I agree with that. It's the only team we've got. Have you seen that bench? Says Jack. And here comes Clark. It's a scuffed shot by Hadji Wright. I'm not convinced by Hadji Wright, you know. I think he has spurts where he looks good, but I'm not convinced overall. Could it be a diamond midfield with Barry Campbell and front two? No, I don't think so. I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1. And I think that's what we've been playing. I know some people have said 4-3-3. And we do. What we have to get our heads around is we changed shape during the game. We changed to a 4-3-3 in and out of possession. We changed to a 4-2-3-1. So it's fluid. And I think that's what's happened here. But I don't think there's much change to what the system will be, personally. I prefer the lineup. All about the positivity train, choo choo, says Dave Morwood. I'm not happy purely for the fact we've still not signed the players that we require for what should be our intention this year. I think that's fair. I think you echo everybody's comments there, Steven Seagal, if that is in fact your real name. He's not happy because Brewster's not in it, says Jack. Bobby says, I guess my takes bewilder you too then. What takes is that, mate? What takes are you on about? I haven't been looking at the chat, if that's what you mean. Not a Cov fan, Jimmy. No, I thought you might have been Paul. I knew you were a fan of one of the teams, keeping us abreast of what's going on. It's a foul, and it's a Cov free kick deep in their own left. I think that's our strongest lineup. It says Benjamin Baboon. Brooksy Orukaki on the right, says Beast Boy. O'Hare just can't take anyone on. There's literally no creativity coming down that right. If you think, I know positionally you can make an argument for it sometimes, but Brooks and Ukaki combined probably still don't have the ability of Callum O'Hare for me in terms of consistency and everything else he gives. I think so anyway. I think Callum O'Hare is a very good player in our side, and that's an opinion. That's just an opinion. I think he's one of our better players. If not, I think it would be between him and Campbell for our better players in a very poor overall performance against Bristol City. I'd have been shocked if it had been dropped. Charger says it could also be Barry and Campbell up top and Hamer and O'Hare behind. I doubt it. It could be, but I doubt it. Our best lineup, end of. Don't forget, Barry can play as a striker too, as can all the front three. I think that's part of our recruitment strategy, though, isn't it? Having players that are adaptable to more than one position. Brett says Blade's team looks good other than Robinson. Just need Messi up front, Ronaldo right wing, and Ramos centre half. I think a few more, but don't want to be greedy. Beast Boy says if we don't win today, this is on Sayers because the team's more than capable. So that, do you agree with the team then, Beast Boy, or not? I don't know what you're saying. Scott says, so what's to say it's not Hamer left and Barry right with O'Hare in the 10? Could be, Scott. Could be. I think you're sacrificing Barry a little bit like we did with Brereton Diaz last season. I think Barry did okay on the left last time out. Here come Coventry on the overload. And yeah, De Silva again stumbles over the ball. As I said, I think he's a weak link. Oh, what have they done there? The free kick given to Cov. To Derby, sorry. Jack says, you got to respect Sassy. He could have done a Robbo and spit the dummy out, but he didn't. He improved. Red card for Villa against Newcastle. Esri Konsa. Interesting. Nige says, on a serious note, Beast Boy, are you bipolar? Never seen anyone change their mind so much in seconds. Only messing, mate. And thankfully Beast Boy laughs that off. Brett says, I don't mind people commenting on bad performances, but youngsters make mistakes, even those that turn out to be great. Sassy made a couple of mistakes, but learnt from them and was better after. Up the Blades. George says, Robin's brought in Hamer, O'Hare, McCallum and Bobby Thomas for Cov. You can have McCallum back if you want. We don't want to be too much of a Mark Robins team, so we'll swap you McCallum for Thomas if you want to do that. George, if you want to be fair, mate, we'll just keep the 3 Robins boys. It could be 4-2-2-2 as Barry can play striker, but not sure. George says, Hadji isn't fit and wasn't for most of last season. You need to get him fit then, don't you? Because I do think there's a player in there. He has spells, like I say, where he looks really good, but I haven't really seen much of him. My O'Hare takes, says Bobby. I know you don't rate him, pal. I do. And that's all right that we disagree. But I think he's a good player. And I think like I say, I think you were probably our best player on the pitch against Bristol City. And that's my take on it. So, no, I suppose we don't agree on that one. Matt says, just hope Robinson plays for the shirt and not himself. Don't, mate, don't. Matt says, good to see Sayers willing to take players out. Looked like he was set on Brooks, but recognised he didn't play well enough and made the change. Never used to see that with a player CW fancied. I don't think Wilder was ever convinced with Andre Brooks. I know what you mean. I think you're leaning towards Wilder having his favourites, and I think Robinson is the obvious example with that. But I I think Wilder chopped and changed with Brooks and Raksaki, for example. He then put Brereton Diaz on the right a few times last season. We never really settled on the right wing, did we? But you're right. Overall, your point stands. It's good to see that Sayers is willing to, when he sees what he deems to be a poor performance or not at the level that we're expecting, he will make a change. We're going to pull the leads and smash these 7-0. Pray for me once I lose my head. Jack, come on, mate. Come on. Nige says he's never played for the shirt, Matthew. He has. He has. He has. Robinson has played for the shirt. You can't say that, Nige. Joe says, I'd go Callum O'Hare as the centre attacking mid, Gus on the left, Barry on the right as a 4-2-3-1. That's not a bad shout either. Beast Boy says, I don't like the lineup, but it's good enough to beat Swansea by a comfortable margin. So you must like it to a degree, if that's what you feel. And O'Hare's the only one you disagree with, Beast Boy. We all want the same result anyway, don't we? Win to 0. We need to score as many as possible because the drop-off from the bench will be mad, says Jack. Excuse me, live score has us in a 4-3-3. It might do. It might have us in a 4-3-3. I don't think we will be. I mean, we could be. Gus might drop in, might be a centre, might be in the centre with Samari and Peck. He might be the 8 rather than a 10. He might be the 8 in a 4-3-3 loosely with Barry and O'Hare as the wide forwards. That could be it. That could be it. Can't wait to watch Samari and Hamer in that midfield. It might be Peck as well, obviously. So it might be that Samari holding a little bit. It might be like a 4-1-4-1 where Samari's holding, and then Peck and Hamer are slightly in front, and then in front and wider of them is Barry and O'Hare, possibly. Scott says it's our best team, Beast Boy. Again, Scott, like everybody I'm saying this to, we have to remember this energy, don't we? No matter what happens in the game. So that's what I'm preaching about. We have to keep this energy up for whatever happens. It was Cardiff who beat 7-0, not Swansea, says Paul. Yeah, I think you were just sort of saying that sort of thing. Brooks is not in. It's not the best lineup. Brooks has been poor, says Scott. Beast Boy, do you think Brooks is the answer? Burnley's lineup looks awful. I haven't seen Burnley's lineup, obviously. Luke says, I'm not a fan of the good enough to beat these. Everyone has to turn up and beyond to get a result in this division. I completely agree with that, Luke. It's not just little old Swansea, is it? They're a really tough nut to crack. 2-1 West Brom. Sayers has gone 4-1-4-1, says Debs. You think it's a 4-1-4-1? Could be. With Samari as the one in midfield. That's music to my ears, says Jack. Meaning the West Brom goal, I think. Beast Boy says, I think Brooksy has played pretty well. I must be watching a different game because everyone says otherwise. It's just opinions, mate. You're not wrong. You're not watching a different game. I just don't think he's been anywhere near consistent enough. I think there's a player in there because we've seen it in flashes previously. I didn't see it against Bristol City, I'll be honest. But don't mean you're wrong. Just hope Sariki and Burrows aren't up at the same time. Yeah, that leaves us vulnerable, doesn't it? It definitely leaves us vulnerable if that happens. Wrexham losing. Oh, yes. Beautiful, that, Scott, says Nige. Jack says, I like Brooks, but even I can say he's been poor. Weed 1-2, says David. I assume you mean West Brom. Don't know if that's a Freudian slip or what, but have a look at some of the results that are coming in at the minute. I assume it's still 2-0 to Norwich. Yes, it is. And it's 2-1 to West Brom, as has been reported. Who scored? It was Jay Wallace for West Brom. I've no idea. Oh, Jed Wallace. Of course it's Jed Wallace. He don't give you the first names, but it'll be Jed, won't it? Old school. Long throw by Cov. It's Bobby Thomas. It's the post. And it's a goal. But Thomas Asante scores, equalises. It were a long throw into the box. Bobby Thomas again involved. Nods it towards goal, hits the inside of the post, and Thomas Asante is the first to react to stab it in. Wowzers. What a game this has been, by the way. My word. They're appealing for offside, but they're not going to get it. Oh, my word. If Ryan Reynolds Disney lose again, he'll call in the Expendables, says Paul. Beast Boy says, I really want to see Okaki today. Feel like he could make a great difference. I think we'll see him off the bench. I think that will happen. He's one of the few that can possibly affect the game. 3-3. Great game. Good game, good game. Thomas with the assist. Says Dave, yeah. Rob says, problem with Brooks is he's not a winger as a centre midfielder by trade, and we're stacked in centre midfield. That's I think Dave the Nose feels that as well, to be honest, not to speak for him. Sunderland team looks strong, says Scott. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Nick Cook says, I'm a fan of Okaki. Was great in pre-season. Would like to see him come off the bench. I think he will, mate. I think he will. I think we'll see him today. And I think that's probably the best way to use him off the bench. I don't think he's as fast as people make out. He certainly didn't look it against Damari Gray the other day. But he's got a lot of energy, hasn't he? And he'll press well and he'll hustle and harry. And I think he's a good option from the bench. George says, limbs. Beast Boy says, Bobby Thomas involved again. Absolutely right. Are we sure we can get Bobby Thomas after today? His price has just doubled again. Thomas again, says Scott. Beast Boy says, mate, his price has risen insanely, even though he gave away a penalty. Goal and assist for Bobby, says Benjamin Baboon, of course. Game isn't finished yet. 4-3 incoming, says George. There's plenty of time for a fourth, isn't there? For either side. You definitely chose the right 12:30 kickoff to watch. Thank you, Luke. I agree, pal. Has Thomas defended well enough? Well, though, yes, I think he has, to be fair. I think he has. Don't want to see aimless crosses, says Andrew. We don't have the forwards who can head a ball. More productive when the ball is pulled back rather than crossed. Yeah, we need to get to the byline and pull it in. I think with the wingers that we've got as well, though, we'll cut inside like we tend to do anyway. And sort of keep it on the deck. Thomas with 4 goal involvements, says Claire. 4. He conceded the pen. He scored the goal. He's assisted that goal. I can't remember the other one, Claire, to be honest. The best we saw of Brooks, in my opinion, was in the Prem. It's a goal. How have I missed that? Mason Clark has scored. What has gone on there? What has gone on there? Mason Clark's just scored. And it looks like everybody went to sleep, me included, reading comments. Frankie boy. George called it, to be fair. Lovely ball through from Kitchen. It's a simple ball downfield. Van Hewitt crosses it. And Mason Clark. Van Hewitt gets round the back of Callum Elder. And Mason Clark, unmarked. Dion Sanderson, nowhere to be seen. Heads it into his near post. Like that. Really quick. Really quick. Well done, George, on your quick prediction, pal. I can't see Cov selling Thomas now. We'll see, Scott. We'll see. And we apparently put a bid in at 5 mil. Nige says, reckon it'll be 4-2-1-2-1. For me, Hamer is the 8. Peck and Samari as the 2. 6. Peck won't be a 6, surely. Barry and O'Hare out wide. Campbell up front. Goal. Yes, it's been a good game and Cov take the lead. Jack, that was through the middle. Limbs. Lol, Eustace. Oh, a bit harsh, that, Paul. Bit harsh. I think you're a Leeds boy, though, aren't you, to be fair? But aren't you supposed to be saying lol Lampard if you're a Leeds boy? 4-3? Yeah, 4-3. Can't beat the championship, says Ray. You can't. It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Limbs, says Beast Boy. What a game, says Nige. That run and ball, fantastic goal, that. It was just a snap counter, weren't it? Really good. Jimmy, what a pick for the 12:30 game. There's still 50 minutes to go. It could go either way. Do you know what, Beast Boy? When you're about the pick for the game, and I know somebody else mentioned it earlier on, I was going to do a watch along last night of Liverpool-Bournemouth as well, and that were a brilliant game as well. But I ended up going out in taxi, and then I came back early and watched the end of that game. 3-1 West Brom. Still 15 minutes to go. It could go either way. Can I just say welcome to the Championship to Wrexham? Welcome. Welcome, Ryan. 4-4 incoming, says Benjamin Baboon, trying to manifest it rather than the pattern of play. We'll have to wait and see. It's a Derby throw now on right-hand side in line with edge at box. Wrexham, ha ha ha, says Beast Boy. It's headed clear by Cov, but it's back out to Nyambe. Can he get round him? He can. He gets a cross in, but it's got to be keepers. Rushworth, what you doing? It's cleared. It's a foul on Rushworth. Oh, ho, 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 ho. 15 minutes left. Could end 6-6 this, says Rob. It could. It could. I tell you what. Rushworth's got to be stronger there for me. Just had the managers, hate the managers that play negative type of football. His Blackburn was so frustrating to watch. 3-1 West Brom, says Paul. Wrexham losing 3-1, says David with a little laughing emoji. Price scored again. Good player him. They'll be looking to keep him before end of window, I think. Matt says, had Villa, Newcastle on the first half, but so dull. Give me champ football any day. Absolutely right. Zonny says, surely no chance Cov sell Thomas unless we overpay. One game won't change it, I don't think. Having said that, that was the whole Cole Palmer swing, weren't it? Nick Cook says you can't beat the Championship, but want to get out of it into the Prem. Absolutely right. Isaac Price twice. So good he scored it twice. And George says Championship is the most entertaining league in the world. Absolutely right it is. It's brilliant. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it as a league. We all want to get out of it because we all want that Prem money, but it's brilliant. We've just hit 2,500, by the way. Thank you to everybody for subscribing over here. 2,500 subscribers on here. It won't show on here because it only shows what you were on at the start. But thank you to everybody it's free to subscribe if you want to join us. Cov on edge at box. Shot by Top. 5-3. He scored. It's 5-3. What a shot right into the bottom corner. And that's got to be game, hasn't it? But wow. 8 goals and I've only pressed this once. Wowzers. Wowzers. Unbelievable. This such a good game. Such a good game. So Van Uwijk knocks it back to Top on the edge of the box. He's wide, really wide to the right-hand side. And it's a reverse shot across goal. Just along the deck into the far corner. Really good goal. Really good goal. Fair play to Cov. They're no mugs, by the way. And Derby aren't either. Derby are a decent side. They'll go okay. I think I've got Derby mid-table. Cov will be a playoff team this season. They were 3-2 up, they're saying at commentary. Derby were 3-2 up, they're now 5-3 down. Hi, Jimmy. Come on, Blades. Absolutely, come on, Blades. Wayne. Hiya, mate. Hope you're good. I thought Deadpool was unbearable. Never seen it, Dave. Josh says, I think the team is 4-3-3. Samari is the 6. Peck and Hamer 8s. O'Hare and Barry as inside forwards and Campbell up top. I don't think you're far wrong, mate. I don't think you're far wrong with that. 5-3, says Dave. Shove that in your documentary, says Nige. Derby making a triple sub here. And it's 5, says Ray. 5, says Beast Boy. Jimmy, what you reckon to our lineup, brother? I think it's decent, mate. I think it's best we can put out on paper. I don't like Robinson being included, but that's more a moral choice than anything else. I think he is in the best 11 at the minute. So, yeah, I think it's good. And I've been saying to people here, we need to keep that energy, don't we, for full time. Whatever happens, if we lose this game, people can't be saying, why did he pick that team? Because the team, I think, is good enough. So they're going to show us who came on there. It's Ozo off and Ward on. Caden Jackson's coming off. No, I think it's because it's not their lead game. We're watching this on Sky Sports Plus. They don't really show you, not in a timely manner anyway. It's Andy Vyman's come on for Caden Jackson. And there were one more there as well. They'll probably show you on our stats, to be honest. Eustace needs to defend more. It says Paul. Limbs, says George. Limbs. Never mind. 5-5, says Ben Baboon. Cov look really good going forward. Yes, they do, Toddy. Redoni to top. Thomas Asante tries to bundle his way into the... I think I just said exactly the same on commentary as I said. Derby come away with it. Still going. Oh, look like a little nibble there. That's his ankle, and he's going to give away a free kick himself. Coventry free kick. Victor with a torpedo. Quality player he is. Yes, he is a quality player, mate. I see what you've done there as well with the pun. Nice. Told you 6-6 incoming, says Rob. I'm at work, so I've been dipping in and out. Love that Cov right wing back too. I'm not as sold on Van Uyck as a lot of people are. Cov are the dark horses. I don't think they are, Jack. I don't think they are. I think people see him coming. I think it's a bit like Birmingham. They're expected to be in and amongst it because they've done some smart summer business. So I think they'll be good this year, but I don't think it's a dark horse situation. Matt says the first couple of games at the start of the season are crazy. Yes, they are. We've got to play these. Don't think we're ready yet, looking at this performance, says Nick. Paul says, got no words. I know, pal. I'm sorry, mate. This could be us later on. I'll take it all day long. Yes, me too. Matt says, Danny Hall has said Hamer has a new role, so I'm guessing with that, he's the right attacker. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. If Danny's got a sniff of what's happening today, he might be on the right. Zonny says, if we lose today, it's going to be because of how bad our defence is. Pompey have scored. To pull it back to 2-1 against Delia Smith, says Nige. Obviously Norwich City. Paul says, remember when Kevin Keegan used to win every other game, 4-3? Brilliant times, mate. That was my favourite period of watching the Premier League. When Kevin Keegan were in charge of Newcastle. Absolutely brilliant. Some right superstars in the league as well at that time. And we're off the bottom, guys. We're on the up, says Matt. There you go. Not even played and we're off the bottom. Only ways up for Sheffield United. Free kick to Derby. Taken deep from the right-hand side. It's poor. Attempt to cross in and it's a corner to Derby. George says Van Uyck is great going forward, but not the best defensively. It's his pace that helps him out. There you go. Sounds familiar, doesn't it, Blades? Sounds familiar. It's one of those that catches the eye really well because of how good he is going forward. I don't think it's the finished article. In swinging corner. It's punched clear by Rushworth. It was hit by a Derby body and it's blocked. But Derby recycle it and they're going to let it go for a goal kick. Cover apparently looking to sell Van Uyck. I know they're entertaining offers because they've got Kessler Hayden to come into the side, aren't they? So I think that's smart to have stacked it up before they sell him. Is Brewster's injured? Shock, says Jude. Hey, Jude. Mitch says 24th to 1st. Here we go. Here we go. Van Uyck was linked with a £12 million move away. Sure, I saw it was Wolfsburg. Yeah, I think he has been linked with Wolfsburg. I didn't know it was 12 million quid. Won't surprise me though. Catches the eye, doesn't he? I'll tell you what, we've jumped up in subs again. 2504. Thank you to everybody for jumping on and helping us out. Here comes Redoni, who's been quiet today, but he wins a corner off Sanderson, who I think has been below par today. The 96 season in the Prem was special. Newcastle were a great watch. 2 4-3s with Liverpool and the 5-0 smashing of Man U. That was with the Philippe Albert chip, weren't it, of a Schmeichel? Beautiful. Where he just stood there. Special. Yeah. That Newcastle team were unbelievable. Les Ferdinand, Alan Shearer, David Ginola. Cross from Grimes, out swinger. It's a header, but it's blocked. Scooped clear. Andy Vyman can't get to it. Recycle back in. Can Sanderson win the header? He can't. All alone, to be fair. Grimes nods it back in. Sanderson heads it back out again. Bit of head tennis. Yeah, Derby get an easy free kick. Aspria was phenomenal to watch, says Paul. Yes, he was. Just tuning in, Jimmy. Those Derby goals, a Brewster hat-trick. Brewster, S, is injured again. Welcome to the stream. He's not been in the squad because he's injured, which is a big shame for the lad, but us Blades are all too familiar with it, aren't we? Yeah, the Newcastle team was best Prem team to not win the league, in my opinion. Great shout. Yeah, you're probably right. I think closely run by the recent Liverpool team under Klopp when they got to something like 90-odd points. Ridiculous. But yeah, in terms of pure entertainment, I loved watching that Newcastle side. That my cousin's a Newcastle fan. Hello to Joe if you're watching, which I don't think he will be. But he's a Newcastle fan just because he loved that side so much, particularly Alan Shearer. But he loved watching that team. He's a lot younger than me, to be fair. I can see Wrexham manager getting a sack and Wilder taking over. I can definitely see him being ruthless. I don't think Parky sees out the season if they are mid-table obscurity. Anything below, like 12th or below, where it seems like a nothing season, or even flirting with a relegation spot, I think Parky's in trouble. Faustino Sasprilla. It was Faustino Aspria, weren't it? I don't know if that's a typo, Dave. Luke says, Matthew, I said the same a few weeks ago to a mate. Parkinson has never been good at this level. Wilder hates Wrexham, says Beast Boy. It's not about who you hate. It's how much can they pay. And that's not a dig, by the way. Any manager will go into 99% of clubs for the right money. And why wouldn't they? Why would they not? He'd go manage Leeds, would Wilder? Of course he would. He'd go manage Forest. Teams that you think you wouldn't like. I don't think he'd manage Owls. I don't think he'd manage them. But other than that, I think he'd manage. No club is off the table, and it shouldn't be either. He don't sit right. But that's my honest opinion. Another sub for Derby. Have they packed in? 24 for 39. Jean Brown. Never heard of him. Replaces Ryan Yombe. Don't know if that's a like for like. It looks like it positionally. So like a right wing back. But Dejon Brown's continuing with the attack a little bit. So maybe it's slightly more attack minded. Nige says, are you crossing straight over to the Blades watch along, Jimmy? I'm not doing a Blades watch along, pal. And I know I've answered this already to a few, so sorry if you've already heard this, but there's no legal stream in the UK for the Swansea game. So I am going to watch it elsewhere. I'll try my best to listen to it on Radio Sheffield. That's what I'm going to do. And then I will be back, hopefully, around 5 o'clock, or as near as damn it to 5. I've scheduled it for 15:15 just in case, but as near as damn it to 5 o'clock for 90 after 90. So I'll see you there, Nige. Scott says, back in the Prem, when Wilder did an interview, he said he'll never manage them lot across the city. I agree. I don't think he will. Why would he? Paul says, great stream, Jimmy. Thanks, mate. You'll win 2-0, bro. I hope you're right, pal. I hope you're right. Oh, Wrexham have got one back. Parky's trying to save his job. They had a late comeback in the week, didn't they, in the Cup? And then ended up winning on pens. So they'll have the belief. Richard in FNQ says, late to the game. It's late here in Oz. Thank you for joining us, mate. Bar the pens, is the scoreline a good reflection of the game? Yes, I would probably say so. Taking the second half into consideration, Coventry have stepped it up a gear. I think you could probably say it's slightly harsh that it's a 2-goal margin. But Coventry deserve to be in front, I would say, on overall play. I don't know if the stats reflect that. Yeah, they do this second half, don't they? So these are the match stats overall that you can see on screen at the minute. And Coventry lean towards, being in charge in the game. I think second half they've been the better team. First half were a great game, very even. But yeah, I think it's fair, Rich. Jude says, where are people watching the game? Anyone know? I think some people will be have their own. They might take some stick for it, but it would be dodgy to do so. And each to their own, if that makes sense to you, pal. I'm on about the Sheffield game. David says, thanks, Jimmy. It's been a great watch along. 8 goals. Now I'm off to Swansea. Full-time West Brom have beat Wrexham. Thank you, Scott. Good to know, my mate. 7 minutes added here. 7 minutes added time. So we're waiting. It's not come up on ours yet, has it? But it has on Sky. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I've enjoyed this. It always helps when it's a good game, but it's nice to have a chat anyway, isn't it? Shot from Derby, well over the bar. Well over. High, wide, and not very handsome from Ward. Kessler Hayden's come on. There you go. There you go. Missed that sub, to be fair. Didn't see him come on. I'm just waiting for it to come through. Who's the £10 million West Brom made? Saw it the other day. £10 million West Brom signing. Let's have a look. I know they signed a... Is it Hegbo? I don't think he was 10 mil. A little goosey gander. If anybody can beat me to it, then feel free to get it in the comments. Derby with a little rally. No, it was €7.5 million. It was... oh no, that's Egham. That's Egham, sorry. No, they haven't signed anybody for 10 mil, I don't think. You might be confusing it with Wrexham for Nathan Broadhead, which is crazy money. The West Brom's biggest signing this season is Hegbo for €5.5 million. He's a centre forward, 23-year-old from Bran. But Wrexham have signed Nathan Broadhead. Said to be 10 million. It's probably going to be up to 10 mil. Yeah, they sold Hegam for no. Well, it says 7.5 on Transfer Market, so it might be up to 10. You were there centre half, weren't you? Great watch along, Jimmy. Always good to disagree on takes. Absolutely, mate. That's what it's all about, innit? And you're more than entitled to your takes as well, pal. Unless I'm mistaken, I think it might have been the outgoing that you're thinking about, Nige, with Hegam, the big centre half that a lot of Blades wanted. Possibly. Right. No injury for Bobby Thomas so far. 4 minutes, like 3 minutes of injury time to go, like, so I may have just jinxed that. Let's hope not. But Ibu Adams, neat and tidy again on the ball. He's one to watch, you know him. Here come Derby down the left-hand side. Get it centrally again. Adams switches play out to the right-hand side. To Ward. Can he beat his man? Yes, he can. Goes round the outside, crosses into the box, and it's cleared, well cleared. I think it were Kitchen that time, but they're saying that the two centre halves are playing really well in seeing the game out. I agree. Luke says, I think it's 7.5 plus 2.5 in add-ons. Yeah, possibly, mate. Possibly. And that's Euros as well, isn't it? So it's a little bit skewed. Paul says, I just watched Villa and Newcastle. Boring. I was relying on you for a Blades watch-along. I was wanting to watch Sunderland, but keep up to date on the Blades. Sorry, mate. I will, whenever I can, I'll be watching the Blades. I'm at all home games, but all away games that I'm able to do watch-alongs of, I will be doing. So that's the way we're doing it. I can't do any 3 PM blackout games on a Saturday, unfortunately. About 5 piggies protesting in Hillsborough car park on Sky. It's horrible what's happening to their club. I mean, but they are as rivals, aren't they? So we've got to take some sort of pleasure in them suffering on the pitch. You know, like when the players are going for note and stuff like that. I do enjoy that. Wrexham losing it all. Holding. Foul given against Carlton Morris. Kicking off. It's effing BS, he shouts at the linesman. Not as aggressively as Jack Robinson shouted the other night. Portsmouth just hit the post for 2-2. Oh! Nearly. Over 200 in here. Hit the like button, people, please. Thank you, Luke. Doing us a solid there, mate. Yeah, if you can just hit the like, it's free. You don't have to do anything. Hit the like button, and it just shows more people that we're here. And if you want to subscribe, if you want to see a little bit more of us, you want to show us that support, again, it costs nothing to subscribe to us. It will be very much appreciated. It just lets YouTube know that we're doing a decent job, and it shows then on your feed, if you like, when you go onto YouTube. Completely free. Going to switch over to my Amazon cough stick now. Says Rob. Been a very good game and entertaining chat. See you after, hopefully, with a win. Yes, hopefully so, Rob. See you soon, pal. I'm going to go straight after this game. I'll be on the road myself. Joe says, anyone know why we could watch a game at 3 PM on Sky last week? Now we can't all of a sudden. Just a joke of a rule. I know, mate. I know. Good strike, wasn't it, Matthew? As in hitting the post. Wow, Portsmouth just hit the bar, says Beast Boy. Don't know if that was the same one that they're saying hit the post, but certainly at the woodwork, aren't they? Portsmouth chucking everything at Norwich by the sound of it. Derby now, we're overtime. Deep cross, it's headed clear. Is this ref ever going to blow? Matt Clark tries to scoop it back in. And it comes out to Ward on the right-hand side. It's crossed in. Can the keeper get it? He punches it. I tell you what, Rushworth hasn't been that convincing today, I'll be honest. I do like him. He's back with Derby again. And can they keep the... Oh, yeah, they've done well. They've done well. Shoots! And it's going to be a corner ball, and the ref's still going. Ref loves these little extra bits of added time. Corner to Derby, but obviously Coventry have got the 2-goal cushion. There's no real danger here. It's just a formality as to what's happening here. Callum Elder standing over the ball for an in-swinger. Carl Rushworth got a yellow card for delaying the restart. And Lino's just stopping Elder from taking the corner. They don't know I've got a game to get to. What's going on? Right, and now the corner's loud. Ref's blowing the whistle. Corner's able to be taken. In-swinging corner from Elder. It's decent. Oh, it's a shot from 17 on the edge. Another spinning shot from Morris, and it's blocked. Elder whips it in swinger. Oh, it's flicked back through, and Rushworth dives on top of it. And that will be that, I think. 99 minutes played. Booted clear downfield. What is this referee doing in terms of time? I think he's had a decent game, ref, but what is he doing in terms of time? And there is the whistle. Nice one, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed that game. I'm enjoying all the games that we watched so far, but that is certainly the highest scoring game so far that we watched on Ramble FC. But yeah, really entertaining as well. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to go now and watch the Swansea versus Sheffield United game. I'll listen to it or do something. I'll find out what's happening. And then we'll be back here around 5 o'clock, between 5 and 15 for 90 after 90. Hope to see you there. Come on, you. Oh, it's not even the ending for this, is it? I will just say, catch you in a bit.